The views, thoughts, and opinions on this podcast belong only to the hosts and the guests. They don't necessarily reflect any organization or sponsors connected to us. We aim to keep things accurate, but everything you hear is shared for information, conversation, and entertainment. We're going to dive into good laughs, tough talks, and that genuine feel that you came for. So get comfortable, relax into the vibe, and let the moment unfold. This is Keep It Clean. Lock in.
Because if that means it changes now, get you all yourself right. And then two, if you change it now,
is this needed? Is it accessible? Does it change up everything? What's your thoughts? Did it make anything? So the there's a game that's second place. Yes, that's second place.
Tell me why I'm watching the game on ESPN. One of the banners in the background is YouTube TV for the game, but we can't even watch it. How does that make sense?
$20. I don't want no $20. I want the game.
Every time you see me, I keep it clean like a coaster.
What up, everybody? What up, everybody? This is the Keep It Clean Sports Team. We are back. Keep It Clean Sports Team. We even have a crossover from the main pod, man. We just showing y'all we really about community, about brotherhood, and about shenanigans. I think that's the most important thing for y'all, right? We back with another week. We have NFL highlights. Stefanski still being a hater on Shador. We got Danny Dimes no longer being the dime no more. He's out for the year. We slide over into college football. We have snubs and dubs, and we have people making the college football playoffs, but then a lot of upset feelings. And over to the NBA, whole bunch of injuries. And we got the NBA Cup that I'm pretty sure still doesn't matter even in 2025. And last but not least, two topics, one requested by a great listener, a great friend of the show. And we will go on from there. I am your host, Ray. Can we go around the building, man? How y'all fellas feeling? Do you want to start with the Blue Brothers first, or do we want to have Ev go first? Since it's, he came back. It's been a while since we've seen him on the sports side. It's been a good quarter. He was on IR for a little bit. Who wants to speak up first?
I'll go ahead first since you gave me that illustrious introduction there. Yeah, your boy Ev, I'm here. It's been a while, you know what I'm saying? First time here with Abe, so it's going to be a great time. I've seen Jamell, been here, we chatted before, so it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good time. I'm here to talk shit, shenanigans, and all. Let's go.
Yeah. Why did you show up this week? Can you break that down for the people? What made you pop out like this week?
Do you want me to be transparent, or you want me to be on shenanigans?
I mean, either or, bro. This is an open platform. You know how this goes.
All right, man. Transparency. My lady is out for the evening, so I was free. Normally not free on Wednesdays a lot. So she was gone. She's out with some plans, so I'm free. So I'm here to kick it with the boys. And number two is because, I am a LA Rams fan. I do know we got A here who's a Lions fan. We went back and forth once or twice on Instagram. So, it's that week. So that it was just a perfect storm where I get to show up too. So we get to talk a little bit sports here. So let's really have some fun.
Say less. All right.
Just somehow she going this week, right? Just somehow.
Right? All week.
Just worked out.
Just
lined up.
Girl,
her friend's birthday just lined up perfect.
Money, do your thing. Like we didn't see this play before, but you know what? We can have our brother here, and I'm okay with that. So it is what it is. But obviously the two brothers in blue are still here. It's been a wild week in sports, and it's going to be even wilder week with the weekend coming up. So I'm very excited to talk about sports with the fellas and just kick it. So I'm ready.
Okay. And someone that came back off of a calf strain, pulling a Giannis, trying to make sure it wasn't an Achilles. He's been gone for about a month, but he came back for a triple-double performance. That's what we predicting, right? Brother Mel, a.k.a. the Mailman.
Let me tell you, my mama named me Jamell, but the ladies call me the Mailman because I always deliver. Come on now.
Wow.
Come on now, sir.
Wow.
I like that.
Oh,
I'm not going to call you that, but I like that.
Yeah.
That's for the ladies.
Let somebody else do that. Yeah.
I start dropping facts on you.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, bro. We kicking straight into it, man. We doing the highlights, right? We doing the Keep It Clean highlights of the week. We gonna point out who our star of the week is, our bozo of the week, and then Keep It Clean sports, like your highlight moment of the week for sports, man. who want to start off? I'm gonna go with A, man. I'm gonna go with the Blues Brothers. I'm gonna try to cheer y'all up. I know y'all going through it right now. We got a brother down, so I'm gonna start with A, man. What you got for us?
Well, sports highlight of the week is going to be no surprise to anybody here. Indiana took care of business, and OSU got a loss. Now they're the number one ranked team in the country, number one in the Big Ten champs. So obviously, my hat is tipped to them because it's kind of what I wanted to see anyway. I mean, it's a representation of the Big Ten. So at this point, since we're not in the college football playoffs, I'm happy. We're at the top, and we're showing the other conferences that this ain't no joke. But as far as it goes, yeah, seeing Ohio State lose was really good. It made me feel good. And this is the only time I'll actually say their name because the game is already passed. So I can refer to them in first person. That would be my highlight of the week.
Okay. Who is your
my star of the week?
Yeah.
Oh, the coach of the Indiana Hoosiers. I didn't think that we would get too far off that, but let me go ahead and say it. The coach, that stern look that he gives you, that Belichick look that he gives you as he walking down the field to let you know, I've been doing this. I love it. I love every part of that. And my sports bozo of the week, Jalen Hurts. Everybody's been riding that wave all week. I know they've been having their fun with him, but are we going to call a spade, or are we just going to keep giving excuses with all the talent that's surrounding him? There's no way in the world you should have a worse QBR than spiking the ball the entire game. He would have had a better QBR if he would have spiked the ball every down for offense than what he put on the field on tape. Needs to be talked about. Sorry, bro.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I thought you were going 3 for 3. I swore you were gonna say Ohio State as a bozo. I just saw it was two lined up. You know what I'm saying? I thought you were going 3 for 3.
I did my two part. I left it alone. I keep the 3 for the bozo that we need.
I can't say Jalen Hurts was the first person I've seen have 2 turnovers in the same play. I've never seen that before.
First ever in history.
I've never seen that before. He had 2 turnovers in the same exact play. Absolutely crazy, man.
All right, you're going to call me the worst, call me the biggest. That's what he said.
Yeah. Abe, Blue Brother, the Blues, brother. Go ahead, lobby it over to Jamell, man. Who's your highlight?
My highlight of the week has been it's Seattle's defense. Every play they make is a highlight. Is the Legion of Boom back? Is this the new version?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it. Like, I wish I had picked their defense for my fantasy league because every week it seems like it's turnover after turnover. Like, every play they make is a highlight, and they are just wrecking people. My bozo is the same person. It's Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Come on, bro. Like, 2 turnovers on the same play. How do you do that? He's the bozo. And the fact that he's trying to force the ball to Brown to make him happy. What won you the Super Bowl last year? Running the ball. I don't know. He's the bozo. Maybe the coach is the bozo. Maybe I shouldn't blame him, but he's going to get this week. And my star, sir.
I said, now we talking because we do need to talk about that coach over there. Now we talking, man.
Yeah. He's really nothing without a good coordinator, and it just is what it is. But my star of the week is Tyler Shock, New Orleans quarterback. I did not see them beating Tampa Bay. And that dude, he looked like Albino Vic for a while, man. He was just running all over the place. I give him all the props. I think he ran for 2 or 3 touchdowns. So he's my star of the week.
Albino Vic is hilarious.
That's out of pocket. Jamell know it too. That's out of pocket.
Albino Vic is hilarious. All right, Ev, it's on you, man.
All right, man. My highlight for the week. I'm gonna go a different approach. I know he's coming up in our topics, but Shedeur Sanders. That's my highlight for the week.
Yeah.
Shout out to the brother because, I mean, even though they lost to the Titans, he's showing that, this was our narrative. This was all a game that y'all was playing. Yep. I'm one of those guys that I'm here. I deserve to be in this league and get named the starter for the rest of the season after a great performance against the Titans, even though they lost. But, this was one of those games that you will remember from him currently going forward, because this was his breakout performance. So that's my highlight. I'll say my bozo counter going into that is Kevin Stefanski, because why would you take your starting quarterback out for the last play of the game for you to have a chance to win?
Screaming at the TV.
You know, like
Screaming at the TV.
why would you even do that? Why would you and it also is because like you're a bozo for the entire season, really, because of how you've played this entire thing. You know, trading Joe Flacco, that even that play, bozo for that, trading him to a division rival. Everything how you handle Shador, bozo like. So there's another thing we're gonna get into. I ain't gonna say it now for why you a bozo, but it came out today or yesterday. So we're gonna talk about that one later on. But also, I would say my star of the week. Oh man, I'm gonna go with the home team, man. Puka Nacua, man. 7 receptions, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. Out there hooping again, man, doing his thing, looking like the guy he's been. Doing what he got to do, man. Shout out to him. He had 2 touchdowns again, like I said, but one of them was an amazing catch, just right off of, like, I think it was the first play of the drive. Like, it was a great touchdown, like, back into the end zone. And, man, just shout out to Puka, dog. Hope he keep doing it and leading us to victory. So, shout out to him.
Okay, man. Great lead-ups. You know what? I'm going to start with the star of the week for me. Star of the week for me, I'm sure Abe will love this. Jahmyr Gibbs is losing his mind, and I think he officially established his MVP race, especially now going forward. I think it's curtains for Jonathan Taylor. I think I don't know what else to do over there, even though I see them trying to give us an upset by throwing Josh Allen's name in a hat by some miraculous year, season finish, whatever the case may be. Jahmyr Gibbs was over there going nuts. In the meantime, I have a tie for Bozos of the Week. You could choose between either Desmond Bain. You trying to tell me you was falling out of bounds?
Oh, man.
Is absolutely
that was so terrible.
You were better off just leaning into it, just being like, hey, man, he was out. Because the craziest part was they had to go find him. He didn't break the rules. You could have just chest passed it just to be petty, but you actually cocked back and let that joint go.
Hostile act is what they called it, but that's crazy.
Then the tape started coming out of him doing similar things numerous times. I didn't realize how he's just been flying under the radar as a player. I guess, you're not in the upper echelons of the Dylan Brooks and the Draymond Greens and, people that have done some, even Embiid's have done some shenanigans, but that was hilarious. Back to Jahmyr Gibbs, though, tied for Bozo of the Week, George Pickens. I don't know if you're a star or a bozo, and I think I'm throwing you in there because you could cover for both, because I don't know what happened to your hands. You've been doing wide receiver 1 numbers all year, and then all of a sudden, in a critical game, very critical game, CeeDee Lamb is out. It just looked like there was a couple plays where you said, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm straight. I don't know why. You should be investigated. There was a couple of them like, nah. They at least going to run the tapes, just with a couple of them. Then I'm in agreement with Ev. My sports moment of the week, man. Shador and Cam Ward in the rookie battle, super dope, right? I hate that their teams were like, absolute dirt.
Jamell.
That wouldn't have been the first game that I would have gone to that day, but I did like that they did cross paths. Both of them are starting. They should have been the number 1 and number 2 QB anyways. That's how it was supposed to play out. And Shador having the game that he had, 4 total touchdowns. You even had the ripped shirt. You couldn't script that. Someone ripping the shirt, he's still running through, trying to go score a touchdown. And you had a blip. You had a blip, a bozo moment. I'm gonna let your brother address the thong thing, but we gonna continue on with what the celebration was of what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Shador Sanders. But we gonna go from there. Why y'all shake your head? Y'all know what this is?
I didn't want to touch that subject. I don't know why we got to even talk about that.
Y'all know exactly what it is, because it's sports. Because it's sports. And going straight into that,
being in a thong ain't a sports, dog. We
that ain't sports.
Hey, aerodynamic. That boy said he was aerodynamic.
Nah.
Going for 4 total TDs, you never know. But straight into
this
NFL.
Ain't Freaky Time podcast, bro. We talking sports over here. What is going on?
He showed it. He showed it to the world. Going straight into sports, bro. We're going to start off with the NFL, man. Hit Stefanski. We already here. How y'all feel about his press conference?
Trash. I don't want to hear nothing that man got to say. To be honest, we've already seen everything that he's done. So words don't really mean nothing. It's your actions that have shown. So it's your actions that have shown that you're willing to put Shador on the back burner. It's your actions that have shown that you are willing to literally trade away assets, do whatever you need to do just so you can give an excuse. Now he's hurt. He's not getting the reps in practice. Come on, bro. We're tired of it. Just because you made him the starter for the rest of the season a day after the game, which you should have already made him to begin with. Now you want to see, like I said, they just don't want his address leaked out to the public. He doesn't want the city to riot because that's exactly what's about to happen next. They about to be at your front door if you keep this up. You're gone after this year. They're calling for your head. Just ride this out. Let Shador look good so at least you can get another job after this. But just cut it out, man. Just cut it out.
He started Joe Flacco at the beginning of the year. And I get it. You want a veterinary. You don't want to throw a rookie out there. But then you throw out Dylan Gabriel. And Dylan Gabriel has more college starts, I think, than any other quarterback ever. So he's basically a second season pro himself in the NFL with all them college starts. He threw him out there, and he looked at the best times, he looked decent. At the worst times, he looked like a freshman rookie, like a rookie. Shador has shown so much poise. You know, he doesn't seem rattled. Dylan Gabriel looked rattled at times. I haven't seen that out of Shador. Even in a loss, he looked like he was in control the entire time. Two games now. He's looked in control. But with that being said, Shador's had to face the 49ers defense, which is really good. Really good. He's had to face the Raiders defense, which is really bad. And then he had to face Tennessee's defense, which is really bad. He's done really well against all three, obviously better against the Raiders and Tennessee. But I'm curious how he's going to do against the Bears defense. They lead the league in turnovers caused. So I'm curious to see how he does against them. I'm curious to see how he does against the Bills defense, which is not great. But I mean, you got Josh Allen. I'm invested in Shador Sanders. I'm actually invested in him. Not Cam Ward, though. Not Cam Ward. He has not looked like a number one draft pick. Shador has.
It's hard to look like a number one draft pick in the Titans, bro. Just
Yeah.
They do have.
Come on, let's give him a little leeway. Like the boy got drafted to the Titans, was like the garbage of the league right now.
They have a top five worst coach. So I do.
I'm saying like he's got like an imploding situation in Tennessee though. Their coach ain't that much better. So
yeah, top five worst.
Yeah.
Okay. Ev, word on the street is you agreed with subbing them out for the 2-point conversion. Is that true?
No, not at all. No.
You saw our face.
No. That's why I'm like, that was just why. That's why I just called him a bozo. Wait a minute. But no, man, with all of that, man, with Stefanski, you know, now I'm gonna get to what I was saying earlier. It was in jest, but it's come out. And again, it could be some truth. So, you know, hold on, let me get it correctly because I don't want to say the name wrong. So back when Sanders, his father, Dion, played baseball for Atlanta, there was a situation where he dumped water on Tim McCarver in the clubhouse. Anyone who doesn't know who Tim McCarver is, he is a legendary baseball broadcaster and player, I think. I think he's an old baseball player, Tim McCarver. I don't know. I'm looking at this thing. It says, yes, he was a Hall of Fame catcher, actually. So let me be clear. Well, for people who don't know, that is Kevin Stefanski's father-in-law.
I didn't know that.
Grandfather. I thought it was grandfather.
Father-in-law. His wife is the daughter of Tim McCarver. And this is why I'm saying I'm going into the bozo of you are kind of, allegedly, you are kind of paying the sins of the father off onto Shador. And you are incredibly a goddamn bozo. That is true and accurate.
He's saying his daddy couldn't stand up for himself, so he had to do it. That's tough. If
Are,
that's true.
are we really saying that this is Freaky Friday, where the teacher was getting back at Lindsay Lohan because the mom turned him down back at prom? Is this really what we're doing right now?
Hey man, it lines up.
Based on how Stefanski has handled himself this season, does it sound far off?
You know what I'm saying? Like it just sounds, especially when you see a player like Shador, where all the hype, even though it was necessary because he was warranted, it was warranted hype.
Yeah.
And you see how all this plays out, where okay, you don't get drafted until the 5th round. Dylan Gabriel gets drafted before you, and all this hysteria around you. And we see Dylan Gabriel finally play in an NFL game, and he can't throw the ball past 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. And you, like Jamell said, you in 2 games show so much poise already that most rookie quarterbacks already can't even show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Okay, but just for a second, Ev, you telling me that this is how this is all played out with like the draft and everything else, all the hoopla. But like,
I don't know.
It's one team out of all the teams in the league that passed him up. That's all I'm going to say to that point. So like, it's not as if that was just the Cleveland Browns only pick. They can only pick Shador like that thing. But like, that's why it's hard to believe that. And I'm not saying that it's not like on par. It's not saying it's not believable, like David was saying. It definitely sounds like some childish stuff. Yeah. But like to think that it goes that far back, and then we got to think about the draft and everything else. I think there's been so many things that have happened that Stefanski has stuck his neck out on that we've seen publicly, that I'd rather it be that than to be old daddy over here in the corner that we got to, defend 30 years later. That's all.
You know what? Yeah. I done broke out the magnifying glass and I'm looking and I see through the bullshit. You're right. I agree with you, man.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yes. You don't think pillow talk? Hey, you know Shador's daddy dumped water on my daddy. Can you do something against him? I got you, baby.
Wow.
I got you.
Whoa.
I got
you. In the
he's back.
You fourth string.
Nah. I'm out
he's back.
I agree with you, Eb.
Like, comment, subscribe, all that. Yeah, we out of here.
I've seen through it. Eb got a good point.
That's
the funny part about it is, Abe, I think even you would admit there's times where if you had an opportunity and you knew you could kind of slide for the home team and really just, hey, you said that's your op right there? Word? Yeah, hey. Hey. Handle that for
live
me.
Action. We've done some stuff before. We've been on the basketball floor together. Some stuff that's happened. I've definitely got it in real time. But like 20 years later, come on, man. Like 30 years later, like I'm cool.
Let's really quick, just running with the theory. He didn't make the draft pick, right? The GMs,
right. That's the GMs, the higher ups, right?
So if they drafted him and that's the way that they did him, it was a group collab for at least the first half of the season. So he felt like if he did it, he had the backing, so it didn't look crazy. Then it got to the point it's like, hey, like it was he ha ha, but we are supposed to be competitive. And it's like, all right, all right. Then they started falling back, like, yeah, it's a coach's decision. Whatever Stefanski goes with. Then it was just full-on exposure because he looked significantly different answering these questions the last 2-3 weeks than he did for the first 8-9 games. He not the same. Yeah, man, no, we are firm in our decision. We know who our starting QB is. Now he's up there. Yeah, we was just trying something. Nah. Stand tall. Stand in there, bro. Stand in there, champ, right there. Put your dukes up. What happened?
So what you're trying to say is they was rocking with him to start off, but now that they are seeing that, like, hey, Shador can actually sell tickets, and we're actually supposed to be a good football team, they is going to leave him out to the pasture to let him just die on his own.
Yes, it's still a business.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because you're Cleveland. You could get another coach at any time.
You've been doing it.
We've been losers.
Like nothing. Yeah.
We've been losers, but what you did provide us was guaranteed entertainment for a season. Now he's here. We've peaked. Cleveland gets to slide into the playoffs.
I'm not mad at that.
We already lost. So worst case scenario, you just get to watch what Shador does. That's it.
I'm not mad
You
at
just get to
that.
watch. You know. Meanwhile, in what now seems to be a bum team, man, how y'all think the Colts are cooked? Is it time to take them out the pasture and make some Elmer's glue?
Oh yeah. The Colts were cooked even when they were like, what was it? When they were 5-0.
Did you see Philip at the press conference today?
I heard it. I heard about it. I did not see it though. I heard about it.
Dog, if you just saw him do a 3-step drop, I'm sorry. You saw him do the 3-step drop back. It was hilarious.
Oh my! I gotta go. I gotta go look it up.
He said, "I was like, nah, get."
Hey man, there wasn't enough WD-40 to fix that. He needed at least 2 cans. He needed at least 2 cans. It looked bad.
No, it was bad, bro. It was bad.
Now, before we get serious on the Colts, I do want to say something real quick. Going to go get a man who's been retired for 5 years. One, because it's Phillip Rivers, it's not a publicity stunt, and it's not a money grab. It's not a popularity thing, because who the hell cares about Phillip Rivers besides his wife and his
13 kids?
His starting 11
kids. Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not anything like that. But to go get a man who's been retired 5 years, that has to be a shot at all the quarterbacks in the NFL.
Bingo.
All of them. Because look at all the guys, the free agents, the quarterbacks that aren't in the league that are young, and you went and got to go get this man who's 44, 45 years old now. And
off the couch.
Like, exactly. He's off the couch. And again, yeah, he played for you, 1 or 2 years before he retired, but like, it's way fresher legs out there and fresher arms with mobility in anything. And that's the scarier part about it. If he goes out there and performs, being stationary.
When Abe sent the group the text, "Is this real?" yesterday, and I read it, I said, "Damn, Jamell still has a chance." Like, hey, bro, go put the team on go put the team on your back, bro.
Let me tell you, man,
bro.
From one grandfather to another, I'm rooting for him. All right. I know how hard it is. I'm 48. I went out. I didn't even play basketball with Ray. I just shot some ball and I was tired. I took like 3 jump shots and I was like, oh, I need a nap. So I'm rooting for him. But I do think that because he is familiar with the team, he might be familiar with their system. So you don't have to bring in a guy, here, study all these books, because he might remember some of the system. He's familiar with the organization at a bare minimum. So it does benefit the team, and you don't need someone to sling the ball all over the place. Like, they're not built like that. Jonathan Taylor runs that team. So you just need someone to get the rock out so that way they don't load the box and stuff Taylor. That's all you got to do. As far as him, I am concerned. Like, why is he coming back? Is he going through a divorce, 13 kids, child support? Maybe he does need the money. I don't know. But
I think he do live in Cali.
And he lives in Cali.
He do live in Cali, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's something else. Is he moving his family to Indiana temporarily?
No.
Is he going to fly back and forth? How's it going to work?
For a month?
Hey, I'm gone for 1.5.
Yeah.
Y'all hold the fort. Oldest child, you take care of your kids and my kids. We got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dad got to go get this check. I'll be back in a month. Like, what?
They're a first round exit at best. Right now, it seems like they're a first round exit, so there's no point in moving.
Now, hold on, real quick. I got it, Jamell. I love you, bro. Mm-hmm. But him coming back talking about he knows the system. He's been gone 5 years. They've rotated coaches. This is a new playbook and a new system. Well, the only thing that he knows is the passcode to the door because they ain't changed it, and he knows how to get into the training facility. So, you're talking about a Hall of Fame quarterback that is going to go down in the Hall of Fame. It is what it is. It's Phillip Rivers, right? But he is 44 going on 45. He just came off the couch. Please do not allude to this man as if he is the best option that the Indianapolis coach should have got, because that's not true.
Depending on your offensive line, depending on how your offensive line is, you can be a statue. Tom Brady was a statue for 20-something years.
I'm not saying he can't be a statue. He's 44.
How old was Tom Brady when he retired? 45?
That's different. I mean,
because he was continually playing. He was taking care of his body. He was continually playing. He didn't miss Oh no.
You know what?
He
So,
didn't miss
hey,
OTAs. He was there.
would
This
you rather
man
have?
has been on the sideline. No, Jamel, stop it.
Would you rather have 44-year-old Phillip Rivers
No.
or 21-year-old Riley Leonard? Who would you rather
No,
have?
what I'm saying, Riley Leonard's hurt, so you can't go to Riley Leonard. So what I'm
But
saying is
he's day to day
is
though.
off
He's not out for
hang
the
on,
season.
off of what Ev was saying this is disrespect to the rest of the league, because if you're a quarterback that was right there on the verge and they didn't have another spot for you, they could have found, like what you just said, somebody can just sit in the pocket and hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. So you don't need to go get his old behind to go do that. You can get a young legs that can hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor and throw a 5-yard cross route.
That's not what I was.
You don't need to go get his old behind.
That's the part. You got to get the rock out, because otherwise they'll just load the box and handing the ball off. You won't go anywhere.
We don't know
So
if he
he
can
can
get the
get
rock out
his
anymore.
reflexes right now.
You know what? You know what? On behalf of all geriatrics, I hope he burns y'all. On behalf of everyone right now with a disabled plate on their vehicle, I hope he burns the league.
I got a counter. Hold on. I got a 2-part counter though. I'm gonna start with, at the top of this season, this wouldn't have sounded that crazy because none of us had faith in Daniel Jones. Before Daniel Jones did what he did, none of us, this would not have sounded crazy. Because
I would have took Daniel Jones over Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement to play after years off would have still been like, what in the hell?
The Daniel Jones we've been seeing for the last couple of years, you would still
He
be
supposed to be at home with that right there that we hearing right there.
Okay.
He ain't supposed to. That's the only football size thing he supposed to have.
Then I got a second question. Give me 3 QBs right now that had the opportunity.
I don't have the free agent list in front of me. I'm just saying.
The point. That is the point.
I'm sure there's a practice squad quarterback.
That's not the point. You can't tell me just because I don't know the free agency list right now that the first person that comes to your mind is Phillip Rivers and that's who I'm supposed to go sign. That's bogus. There's so many players on a free agency list or even on a practice squad that you can go holler at right now before you have to go hunt down Phillip Rivers. You had to go call that man and make sure he was at home because he was either at practice or one of the appointments for his next child. This ain't no situation where you really went down the list like, oh man, you know what? There's so many of these, I'm just going to pass them up. You can't tell me that there's not a single quarterback that you had a prospect on or something that you were looking at that you just passed him over. You have a liking to Phillip Rivers, so you gave that man a phone call and said, hey, can you come stand in the pocket and get us to a Super Bowl? Like, come on, man, don't do that.
So
if I'm not gonna lie to you, if I'm Phillip Rivers and I see Kirk Cousins, I believe I can still play. I'm not saying you're wrong. What I will say is if I'm watching Kirk right now, I believe I can still play. Bro.
I just looked it up, Ray. The best free agent quarterbacks out there. Taylor Heineke.
In your opinion?
I'm reading off the website. Taylor Heineke.
I said in your opinion. That's all I'm saying.
It's not my opinion, sir. I'm reading off the website. Taylor Heineke. This is not me because I don't know him either. I'm like you. Taylor Heineke, Nate Sudfeld, Clayton Tune, and what is the other brother's name? Dorian Thompson Robinson.
You know what those sound like? That sounds like when you play Dynasty mode for a certain amount of time and it gets so far down the line, they start creating names.
Just made up players.
That's what them names sounded like, bro. Who?
And I agree with Heineke. He started a playoff game, if I'm not mistaken.
I know who Taylor Heineke is.
He started a playoff game.
The next 3 that he named after?
But the one was a Cleveland Brown quarterback. He was the one that was out there. I remember
Dorian Thompson?
Yeah.
But the rest of them,
I'm not saying these are top caliber quarterbacks because they wouldn't be sitting at home if that was the point. But I'm saying there's not a chance where you sat there in the office and you looked around at the other people in there and you was like, yo, you know what? You know who we should really get? Who's really going to turn the tide? Phillip Rivers. Give that man a call. Let's see what he up to. That man sitting up there in the press conference talking about, hey, man, how much do you weigh? He like, right now, I don't know. I bet you don't. Because you just had a 12-pack of Krispy Kremes before you walked up in here. Like, we're not finna do this, man.
This is the problem with young people. This is the problem. Y'all bring us down. We reach a certain age. 40
this is called reality. This is called reality.
In football terms, it is old, Jamell. You know.
Ebb.
You know.
Ebb. Like, hey, real quick, Abe, earmuffs. Ebb, yo, man, you're supposed to be on my team. What's going on, man? What are we doing right now? Right?
Like, man, no, like this move right here is turning them into Blue Mountain State, the NFL team. Okay,
oh,
that's what they're doing. Man, I love that show to death.
Good call out.
But like that's what they're turning into. Like you're getting the old off the couch. This is an episode of Blue Mountain State. Hey, we had to go get the guy. He was drunk. He's fat. He's out of shape. He's telling you he's out of shape because that's the clip that I heard of where he said, "I don't know how much I weigh, but hey, I couldn't run anyway." So it's like, you already made it with Daniel Jones, which that was a shot in hell anyway. That's like you won with that situation. So now you think you can double down with an old man?
You traded 2 first-round picks to get Sauce Gardner. He tore his ACL. You leveraged part of your future because you're banking on this year. And now the rest of the team is capsizing. And you thought, you know who I'm going to save the ship with? Phillip Rivers. Can we stop this, bro? Please.
Yeah, man.
Please.
First of all, Eb, I don't like the way you speak about people because it sounded like you were describing me drunk, fat, and out of shape. All right. So I felt like you were attacking me personally.
Never, Jamell. I love you, man. Never.
But it's something about experienced pros. Like you may not have the speed you used to have. He may not have the same arm. Again, he's been out the league for years, but he has savvy, he has wisdom, he has experience. He knows how to play the game.
That don't stop a 275 4-4 running defensive end or linebacker.
I want him to light the league up. I don't think he's
Michael Parsons coming around that corner so quick.
I can't
He's
stand
coming around that corner.
You are so negative. Extremely negative.
He might get his leg bent like Joe Theismann out there.
I'm saying, like, that's the worst part about this is we not thinking about this man's health. We calling him talking about, hey man, can he come save the franchise? What happens when he get bent up?
But the first NFL granddaddy
he answered the call. He's there. If he couldn't do it, he'd have been like, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. But he answered the call.
Is why he's there. What are you talking about? We just talked about how many kids this man got and where he lived. What do you think he out there for? For the love of the game? Nah.
Yes. Yes. It's love of the game. It's love of the game.
If we want to thrive, in negativity, man, how y'all feeling about the Chiefs?
Oh man,
that's a stray.
Hard.
They didn't deserve that. They going through enough as it is, man. They didn't deserve all that.
I'm just saying, man, we want to thrive in some negativity. How y'all feel about the Chiefs?
I love this for the Chiefs, mostly because of Patrick Mahomes' wife. I love this for the Chiefs because I hate her.
Oh my God!
Two strays. We are 2 strays back to back. I'm loving it.
I love it. Now,
what has his wife got to do with this, Jamell?
You know what
she's a Trump supporter, number one.
I want to hear him say it.
I'm very anti-Trump. Everyone knows that. So she is. I mean, where's her MAGA hat? Because if she could wear it to every game,
Jamell,
she
pull
would.
It back. Pull it back.
Go Bears.
Oh man,
I love that, man. But I will tell you this much, man. One thing about dynasties, you can't count them out till they're completely done. So the Chiefs, even though their chances to make the playoffs, and I could be completely wrong, but I was listening to Sports, and I think they said they have like a 6% chance of making the playoffs.
Got in the dark,
but they still have a chance, and that's what scares me about them because Patrick Mahomes is an amazing quarterback. I take nothing from him. He can make every pass, and he's not the fastest guy, but his situational runs, like he runs at the right time. And he gets those first downs. He gets the touchdowns he has to get. I take nothing away from them, but something's broken. Something with the offense, because their defense is actually pretty good, but something with the offense, their receivers are dropping balls, their running backs, maybe it's the offensive line. Maybe that's what's broken. I don't know, but I look forward to them not making the playoffs this year.
With the Chiefs, because I've always enjoyed the Chiefs as a fan. I think it's just like what you said with dynasties. I honestly just think it's one of those things where like you got to have that moment where everything just kind of fall off, and it makes the team have to reevaluate. And like and the perfect thing that you said, Jamell, where I thought you were going to go this way, but you were talking about this season. You never count them out until Andy Reid is gone, until Pat Mahomes is gone, until Travis Kelce is guaranteed gone.
The nucleus.
That's when and that's the thing. And that's where I feel with this is that, hey, this is now the time where they got to recalibrate as a unit. Hey, where are we going wrong? Pat Mahomes, I'm personally looking at you as the quarterback of this team. A lot of things that you did in your earlier career, that you got away with in your play style. As you're starting to get older, you have to kind of tone it down. You have
They
to.
have the infrastructure. They have the infrastructure set in place. So as long as the infrastructure is there, I mean, remember we watched like New England. New England didn't win a Super Bowl every single year.
Exactly.
Like they had ebbs and flows, and then they went, okay, let me go get somebody. Let me go get Randy Moss. Let me go, Amendola. Like they did the things that they needed to do in order to stay relevant and successful. Now, I don't know if they ever fell off this hard. That's always a question that you kind of have to ask, like how far off can you fall where it doesn't affect the infrastructure? But like you said, and like what Jamell was saying, as long as you have the nucleus of those guys around that building, I think you still have what you need in order to make the next step. I also think we're seeing I don't really want to say this, but we're not seeing the best of Travis Kelce this year.
Say it.
We're just not seeing
not.
We're not seeing the best of Travis Kelce this year. And I don't know. I don't want to say it's his personal life. I don't want to say anything that's happening like that, but it just seems like there's a lot happening and it's affecting his game. So if that's true, and this is his last year, that would be sad for him to leave off on, because I definitely believe he's one of those guys that should leave off of a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And, but if this is it for him, hats off to him, one of the greatest tight ends to play. All that is good, good news for him. But this has been rough to watch, because I'm a Travis Kelce fan. I'll just say it. I like Travis Kelce. I like him as a tight end. I have been watching him just digress through the whole season, and it's just hard.
Okay. To a point you made earlier, though, and we got a comment saying it's definitely his personal life, and I can't disagree. But to the point you made earlier with the Patriots, when did we see them at a sub 500 record during their run?
Remember, that's what I said. I don't know if we've ever seen it fall this short.
Because it's not just him. We're gonna get there, but even for the Chiefs, what you were saying, there was a lot of uncharacteristic drops the other night, and I could count that as just like one of those bad games. Rasheed Rice, oh man, tough tumble, man. Life alert.
Not life alert.
Old age. We talked about this.
But no, Rasheed Rice had drops. We saw Hollywood Brown with the drop. We saw Travis Kelce. We saw Gray. It was a bad game at a bad time, and those bad games do happen. But over the season, other than Rasheed and Pat, what has been the highlight? And it's been a difficult sledding for him, because we're watching Justin Herbert go out there and finish games. Just 2 nights ago, we're seeing Bo Nix with what is arguably the best defense in the NFL handling business. I don't know if they can make it, and I will build off of this because I'll also lobby it. It seems like the whole, other than Josh Allen, that whole QB group that we talk about every single year, we may not see at least 3 of them in the playoffs when you include Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Pat Mahomes. Josh Allen looks like he's going to make it, but it hasn't been the smooth sailing that we've seen in these last couple of years. Is a new wave here, or is it just an off year for football?
With Joe Burrow,
think it's just an off year. Go ahead, Jamell.
I was just going to say Joe Burrow has an excuse. He was injured. Joe Flacco came in. He did a decent job trying to keep the ship afloat, but Joe Burrow was injured. Lamar Jackson, I think it's his hamstring, man, because he does not have the same burst he's had years in the past, and I don't think he's 28, so it's not like he's out of his prime yet. So I think his hamstring is still bothering him. Patrick Mahomes, like Abe said, I don't think they're completely done because they still have that infrastructure, but he's got to get out of all the receivers he has. Even Rasheed Rice, he does not have a number 1 receiver. He doesn't have a Puka Nacua. He doesn't have that. I'm trying to think of receivers. What's the brother? And he doesn't have a Jamar Chase. He doesn't have that number 1 guy that you can go to over and over.
Yeah.
For a while, that was Travis Kelce. But Travis Kelce, he's lost a step or two. And he's a tight end. So he still doesn't have that number one wide receiver. I think we might see Kansas City retool as long as Andy Reid is back, Travis Kelce's back, Patrick Mahomes is back. They get them a number one receiver. They should be okay. Joe Burrow gets healthy. I mean, for all three of them to be out the playoffs this year is crazy. But if they are, I think they'll be back with a vengeance next year. Joe Burrow healthy, hopefully Lamar Jackson healthy. This might just be one of those weird years where these top quarterbacks don't make the playoffs.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just a weird year because I mean we're in a year where we're looking at Drake May and Bo Nix look like they're going to
Daniel
be
Jones.
all-pro players like
Mhm.
Daniel Jones. Like we're seeing guys outperform their name, outperform their game. Like we're
Mhm.
seeing this happen. We're seeing teams that we were banking on being top 10 draft picks this upcoming season be Super Bowl favorites or Super Bowl
Mhm.
contenders.
Mhm.
Like I think this is an off year. Like, and again, I'm not saying that as if like everything is just gonna revert course next season, but it's an off year. It's a changing. Maybe we could say it's a change of the guard. It could be, it's better skill players than quarterbacks currently on these teams, and that's the actual thing that's going on. 'Cause, like with Kansas City, we can kind of see it. Like Kansas City's biggest problem is finally starting to eat them. You haven't had a Tyreek Hill since you had Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the moment Kelsey loses a step, now everything falls to grace. Yeah, he's been throwing to number 2 and number 3 receivers this entire time.
Yeah.
And now they're finally showing, it could be hidden with Kelsey playing great. But now when Kelsey's not playing, it all sticks out like a sore thumb. So that's one thing with them. But then with Joe Burrow, I don't even say that he has an excuse because this is a normal occurrence for him now, being injured.
There it is.
Like this isn't an
I was going to respond to that. I'm glad you said.
Hey, also happy birthday, Joe Burrow. I believe you just turned 29 and you have yet to play. You've only played 3 full seasons. You've only played 3.
Sarcastic. Don't be sarcastic.
Happy birthday. I'm not being sarcastic. This is the truth.
You shouldn't have said you've only played 3 full seasons. That was the sarcastic part at the end.
But it's the truth too, though. The truth can be sarcastic.
Okay.
So I mean, him missing the playoffs is a normal occurrence because you missing games. He's NFL's AD.
That's tough.
Did you call him Joe
Anthony
Street Clothes
Davis?
Burrow?
He did call him Street Clothes.
I mean, it's becoming more of a normalcy than an occurrence.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once we're like what Dave was saying, once we're seeing you in street clothes more than we are in your jersey, is that a coincidence or is that who you are now?
Yeah.
Who has one of the worst offensive lines in the league?
Joe Burrow.
Tennessee Titans.
Yep. You can say Titans. I would go Cincinnati. And there's a reason why Joe Burrow is hurt every year.
Yeah, that is true.
That offensive line does not protect him.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud, and whoever they throw behind the Tennessee Titans line is always running for their life.
Yeah.
But so let me ask y'all this. The Ravens have a 30% chance to make the playoffs. Chiefs have an 11% chance. Bengals have a 3% chance. If they lose next week, do you sit them for the rest of the season?
Who? All 3
Lamar,
of those?
Joe, Pat. Bengals have a 3% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Chiefs have an 11% chance.
Okay. I say if anybody, it's the Ravens' chance to lose it, right? They have the best opportunity and the best chance to get into the playoffs. So they have the best opportunity to lose it. That's my opinion. If we're looking at this from a standpoint of, do we save it for next season? I think I don't see Kansas City packing it up. I think Kansas City will play this out until the wheels fall off because they want to see if everything goes wrong, if they can still get in. They want to protect that as far as they want. I see that totally. If the Cincinnati Bengals don't win in the next week, I can see them packing it up. And the reason why is this. They tried this last year and they couldn't squeak in because they tried the Hail Mary and all that. And then, we're looking at Burrow being hurt on several occasions. because of his past and because of where he was at the start of this year and now coming back, I don't know if you leverage your future again trying to just maybe get a first round knockout. I don't see that in there. I think Kansas City has enough faith in themselves that if they can just get in, they can see themselves trying to make a push for another Super Bowl. That's just what's in the office, what's in the facility. I just don't believe Cincinnati has that same belief in themselves, and I don't believe that Baltimore has a belief that they don't have a chance to make the playoffs right now.
I do think, okay, I think Kansas City believes in their defense. I don't disagree with you. At least from my side, I'll let Evan and Jamell go after this. I believe Kansas City's defense is playing at a high caliber right now. It's not the best, but they're a top 10 defense the way that they've gelled in this current moment. So if you can keep yourself in the game long enough, I understand why Kansas City will keep going for it. 11% is a crazy percentage though, because I don't think you're not catching Denver.
Yeah.
I don't think you're catching the Chargers to win your division. So you need some miracles to happen. There's a strong chance though for them. In 8, 9, and 10, it's Indianapolis, Baltimore, Kansas City. Indy could mess this up.
Yep.
So there's a chance.
Oh, they will.
But they're behind Baltimore. So if Baltimore finishes decently, they're still in. Now, to your point or at least for Lamar, I feel like he's only playing for Derrick Henry. I genuinely do. I feel like he's only playing because I don't think Derrick Henry has it to be who he is known to be going into next season. I don't think you can do this again. So it has to be now for them. And if that's the case, you're going into a season as Lamar and the Ravens of what do we do now? Is Zay Flowers a number one receiver to y'all? I don't know, but that is your best offensive weapon going into next year. It's the same way we talk about Travis Kelce is the same way we could talk about Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is having drops, like uncharacteristic drops for who he is. You lost the game last year. It's not all on him, but you lost in the playoffs. You come back this year. A lot of people having injuries, but the next one would be Isaiah Likely. Like what is that offense really?
That's not a bad backup to have behind you though. That's all. It's not saying. A bad backup. Yeah,
true. But if nobody else is pushing the defense to go cover him, I don't care who you are, bro. Like you throw 3-4 people on there, it's kind of tough. So I think Lamar is pushing partially for Derrick because he's like that's why you brought him here, but just in general, what do you go into next year? And we might have to touch on that rumor that one of the Harbaugh brothers, it seems like it's a little testy in that seat. It looks like they're trying to speculate that there's turmoil going on and the team isn't feeling, the greatness coming from the Harbaugh boy. But to the last one, Joe Burrow, hey man, you already sat out. It would have been perfectly okay if you didn't come back to me. It would have been perfectly okay. Like I loved what you did. You went out there, you got us some Joe Burrow numbers, but it's tough sledding from here on out. And
go get you a top 5 defensive end in the draft or something.
As someone that wants to see you play, because I enjoy watching Joe Burrow play football, sit this one out. Come back next year. Sit this one out. I don't know if y'all are able to keep T. Higgins or how that's going to work out, but sit this one out. That's where I'm at. Like, I think if you lose this week, at least if you're Baltimore and Cincinnati, it's okay to sit down. Kermit the Frog is going to keep playing. There's nothing you could tell him.
Yeah, I'll say with those 3 specifically, Joe Burrow, sit him out. Like I had to check their record with them being 4-9, and I get it, like how the records play out. They have a shot. No.
Oh, and really quick to that point, shout out to Sko because Sko said they got 200. The Bengals got $200 million in the receiver room and $8 on the offensive line.
Yeah, they do.
Facts.
They do.
Facts.
But that's the thing. Like with them, go and just pack it up because it's like it's already almost too little, too late. Now Lamar. Now, Abe, I really agree with you. Where when you say like he has the least to lose, like he has the most to lose because they still have a better chance. But it's like to me, I also think he's in a middle ground where. If you do lose, we could say pack it up so you can go get healthy. And I think like for for the sake of your future, because you are getting older. You're not slowing, like you're slowing down at some point, but you're not going to slow down on running. You're not. You're going to keep putting your body on the line. Do we want to see what we can do in the playoffs when we already struggled this far to get here? Like, so that's one thing I think with him. Pat Mahomes, that's the Chiefs, that infrastructure, they going out on their shield. They're going to go out because they're going to look at it like, hey, hopefully we can get that New England Patriot look where every other team that went to hell in weeks 16 through 18, and we squeeze in as the 7th seed and we wreck shop. So I think that's I think that's the formula for them three.
So this week will be really interesting. Baltimore plays Cincinnati. Whoever loses, they're probably out. Well, Cincinnati for sure. And Kansas City plays the Chargers. So it'll be really interesting this week.
Damn.
And I don't know if Kansas City can beat the Chargers. I want to say San Diego, but Los Angeles Chargers, I don't know if they can beat them. So this will be an interesting week.
To David's point too earlier about the Jim Harbaugh, nonsense that's happening, or the speculations that's happening right now. He's not the one fumbling the ball every other play. So as much as the plays that have been happening right now, we keep it a buck over here, keep it clean. We need to talk about how we holding that ball from our quarterback and our running backs, because there's been a lot of turnovers in Baltimore this year, and Harbaugh ain't the one holding the ball.
Easy to mix them up. John Harbaugh.
It's another Harbaugh. I got you. I get it, but
we gotta give Jim his love. He won us a championship in Michigan,
right.
So we gotta give him his love.
You're right.
Right.
They know what I'm talking about.
So before we get to predictions, I just want to ask really quick, just going around the room, was the hit on Zach Ertz dirty?
No,
I don't think so.
No, just
You don't
wrong
think it was
place,
dirty?
wrong time.
Yeah,
Wrong place, wrong time.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like Jackson Dart. Get your butt out of bounds. Don't try to be a hero for an extra yard. You get clean. You get your clock clean when you're in the right position. I think Zach Ertz was just in the wrong position.
His leg turned into a parabola. Okay. Running across the middle, I will say, man, it does
Scary
feel
times.
Yeah, man. And then jumping, because it's like, all right, you put the defense in a situation of everything we knew, our generation of football was put your face mask in the numbers all the time. So now, in order to not launch or lead with the crown of your helmet, you're essentially having to go in there blind. You're putting your face to the ground. I don't think Zach Ertz is just like, someone with a great vertical leap, but even for how high he got off the ground, we'll say at best waist level, you putting it's never fun to get hit in the legs, bro. As someone that's been there before, it is never fun to get hit in the legs.
And as someone who's played on the defensive side, you used to hawk for people who would be sitting in the air like that.
But you would hit them here, not.
No. Not if you saw a leg. Not if you saw a leg. You were trying to take them out. You tell me every hit you ever had
your coach was dirty. That's all you told me. Your coach was dirty.
I'm talking about you, sir. I'm talking about you, sir. Yes, you. You never saw legs and was like,
No, not. There's film on me. There's a history of me wanting to hit you. I caught you sleeping,
all right.
Yeah. I wanted the rib cage.
Okay.
I'm like, what was it? Patrice O'Neal? He's paralyzed. Like, doing the sock around the helmet, bro, dragging to the sideline with the rest of them. Bro, we were savages out there. Nah, because the leg because I know what it feels like, bro. That's one of the things on the field, man. There's two things that made me scared to do certain things on the field. Being at the bottom of that dog pile, because the uppercuts and people reaching into your face mask, clawing eyes, your bones getting jammed up, and especially if there's a lineman there, bro. It's like, get the fuck off me, dog. There's three of y'all, and y'all
he
averaging
wasn't even a part of it. He just wanted to jump on top.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was 100% a pretty boy receiver. My coach called me out all the time. The rule was get 5 yards for the team, and after that, do what you want to do. If it's a one-on-one, sure, man. See what you could do. I got a shake and bake. I got a truck stick for you. 2, maybe. Once 3 came, my ass on the ground. The fuck you talking about? like what you mean, bro? I'm laying down. I'm not taking a hit for free.
Yeah.
But then the other part is I hated doing chop blocks because I know what it felt like to be chop blocked. So in the similar fashion, jumping up like that and then just having your whole entire knee obliterated, bro, that might be a career-ending.
Oh no,
right
he's done. Oh no, he's done.
With his age, yeah.
You know,
he was already on his way out. That right there, you're done.
You get cooked like that. So, okay, just wanted to ask. Now, last question for the NFL. It's about that time. Who's y'all's MVP candidates?
Jahmyr Gibbs.
That's it? Just solo? One?
You heard me.
Matthew Stafford, of course.
Oh.
Of course. I'll give it to Drake May. I'll throw him in there, of course. I'll throw Jahmyr Gibbs in there. But the unfortunate thing with that is we know the MVP is a quarterback's award now. So Offensive Player of the Year, buddy, it's all yours, unfortunately. Yeah. But I definitely would give, because Jahmyr Gibbs is just playing on another level. Like, he's buried with dreads.
Yep.
So
no, I agree with you. I mean, we saw how they did Saquon last year after he went crazy, and they still passed him up. So it's not going to be a running back. But if I'm being honest and being real, it's going to sound crazy to say this because I never would have started the season saying this. And Jamell, you can jump in after. I got Bo Nix. I got Drake May.
Well,
hard to argue with results right now.
I do not have Bo Nix. Bo Nix don't have Bo Nix. I do agree with you with Drake May, though. I do agree. Yeah. Drake May looks really, but I like Drake May last year. He just needed a different coach. You know, I really like Drake May. I was rooting for Jonathan Taylor because I'm tired of quarterbacks winning the award every year. Jackson Smith and Jigma looks really good. Sam Darnold has shown he's a quality quarterback. I think having Smith and Jigma makes him look that much better. But my pick is Myles Garrett.
Thank you. That's where I was at.
That's one thing.
We agree.
Legendary season for sure.
I like that.
Yeah, I think.
Or Caleb Williams.
It's just history says they're not going to give it to him, but I'm not mad at that.
And his team is losing, yes. So I don't see them giving it to him, but his record season is easily being swept under the rug. Yeah, easily being swept under the rug. But if it's not Myles Garrett, I like I said earlier, I'm not mad at Jahmyr Gibbs, man. I'm not mad at Jahmyr Gibbs at all. I think he has too many explosive games. I also think that it might be very difficult for Jonathan Taylor to close out the year. Because it's not that he fell out the race, it's just you in a bad situation, man. If I see Phillip Rivers there, I might put 10 people in the box and say,
it's all eyes on you, baby. Yeah.
Phillip Rivers is going to lead them to the Super Bowl. Just watch. Jot it down right now.
Please clip this. Please clip this. One hour and 2 minutes. Please clip this.
1 hour and 2 minutes. Hey, we had somebody ask, is Aaron Donald the last person to win MVP? Did he win MVP at all?
I don't know. I'll find out.
No, he didn't.
Okay. We do have a Patriots fan in the chat. They agree with y'all with Drake May, but she says she's biased. She did agree with Matt Stafford. But if it went with bias, it'd be Drake May. But I don't know if
I don't think he did. He just won Defensive Player of the Year.
Defensive Player of the Year.
That was the year we got. That was when he had got 20 and a half sacks, if I'm not mistaken. He had got close to the record.
Nuts. Went crazy.
When Strahan broke the record, I don't think he won MVP either.
They don't give it to defensive. They don't give it to anybody but the quarterback. They just need to be honest with that at this point. Be like, this is a quarterback's trophy. We need to change it from MVP to the best quarterback in the league because that's what it is.
Did Lawrence Taylor ever get one?
I don't know.
Did Dion get one? I mean, there's plenty of people that should have got it, but I don't know if they had. What's the MVP list look like for the last 10 years?
QBs and running backs.
And as a running back to have gotten it, you had to have done something legendary,
like Saquon numbers.
Right. And then still with Saquon numbers, you still don't get it.
The last defensive player to win NFL MVP was Lawrence Taylor in 1986. He had 20.5 sacks.
Can I tell you guys the names real quick? Because I pulled up the list. So you got Josh Allen last year, Lamar Jackson the year before, Pat, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar, Pat, Tom, Matt Ryan.
That was that year he was going crazy in Atlanta.
Come
that was
on,
that
come
year.
on, dog.
That was
Matt
2018.
Ryan. Yeah, that was 2016. 2016.
Oh.
So then you've got Cam Newton, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. The last non-QB was 2011 to Adrian Peterson.
Like you said, Abe, just make it the QB of the Year award.
I mean, like, come on, can we just just give these dudes an actual award? Best running back, best wide receiver. Like, can we just do that? Because instead of just making it the MVP, because we're leaving out so many people with great accolades.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many great seasons that we're missing, and we're just covering right over. The fact that you said, like David said, Myles Garrett's season is just being swept under the rug. He's making history. People are like talking to him at the game, like, bro, this is kind of fun to watch. And they're his competitors.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we sitting here having this conversation, knowing good well none of the people that we're talking about other than a QB is going to win it?
We don't have a standout QB right now, though. This might be an opportunity. We don't have a standout QB. So it might go to a running back is what I'm saying.
Maybe.
I'm not saying defense. I'm saying running back.
Yeah. I would
As
love for it to be. Just the history has just repeated itself too many times for me to really have faith in it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something ignorant like Justin Herbert gets it just because they, so it's gonna be something dumb, But speaking of dumb,
low key, I like Dak Prescott. I like him also. His teams
anyway,
are doing
speaking
well.
of dumb,
Mute his mic.
Jamell just
Mute
saying
his mic.
Get out.
Yeah, mute his mic,
Jamell
bro.
just saying shit right now. Speaking,
Hey, you need to realize something. I'm always right. All right, you're always wrong. All right?
I hear
You just showed that you was 48.
Oh man. Oh my goodness, man.
Go Philip
Okay.
Rivers.
Speaking of dumb, who here understood the seeding process for the college football playoffs after the conference championship winners? Who here said, you know what? It makes sense. This was the way it was supposed to be.
Not a single one of us. Me and you was arguing about this last week because we couldn't even figure it out. Looking up the rules online. Trash.
I'm gonna start with the least looked at game. Did y'all watch UNT or University of North Texas and Tulane?
I'm pretty sure nobody did.
It's okay if you didn't know they played. Did y'all know they played for a conference championship to make it to the playoffs?
They were not on my radar.
They played against.
Because they
I didn't know that game mattered for the playoffs. I didn't.
Yeah, that game mattered for the playoffs because Tulane is now a winner of that game made it to the playoffs. There was a chance that we were going to see the University of North Texas, the Mean Green. Abe, you know what it's like. Nobody.
Nope. I don't know nothing about them though.
You from the area. There's times we forgot they had a football team at certain points, bro. Going to go hoop at UNT. This is story time for y'all. There were certain times we go pull up to the college just to go hoop because they did have hoopers over there, right? And then you drive by, it's like, is that a football stadium? Oh shit, they do got a team. Oh, anyway, yeah, let's go. Let's go get on the court. Bro, they were cheese. I'm not gonna hold you. They were cheese on a couple plays that even replay review was so clear. But we can move on from the game because I know none of us really care, man. What y'all want to start with? Y'all want to start with the Buckeyes losing? You want to go to the Crimson Tide getting beat by the Bulldogs? Which way y'all want to slice it? What games y'all want to go to first?
I would love to interject and talk about Ohio State losing, if you don't mind, kind sir.
Floor is yours.
Jamell, you can jump in here with me too whenever you feel ready. There's something about grief, right? When you're going through a really hard time and life is just throwing things at you and you're just like, man, I can't get up. They won't give me a break. But then the next week happens. and you get to watch that same person give you grief, get their butt taken care of on national TV. And you just, something about it just brings a smile to your face for the rest of the week. I've been smiling all week, baby. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing good. I've been doing exactly what I need to be doing, getting stuff done. I've been hollering at the neighbors, hey, how you doing? Good. All right. Yeah, I've been all there. My grief is over. Okay? Because now I get to see the team who's supposed to be the number one team this season, the Indiana Hoosiers. And thank you to them, to the coach, everybody. We salute you. We appreciate you in the Big Ten. Thank you for handling the business that we didn't, because that's on us. We didn't handle business. But thank you for taking care of your food, not playing around with it. Salute.
It's that type of hate that got Michigan's coach terminated, man. I don't care about the allegations. It was
No. This said a staff member. A staff member. He's the head coach of a football team. You think he ain't out here getting looks? Stop it. They've been looking for a way to get rid of my man.
Hey, remember last week we were just talking about, I was like, why is his jacket so tight all the time? This boy was hiding. He was hiding them secrets, bro. They cooked it. Okay. Jamell, man, did y'all watch any of the conference games, man? We got a lot of Georgia and Bama fans too in some of the chats that we involved in too. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of Georgia and Bama fans, and we're gonna have to figure out how Bama got back in there.
First confusing.
Can we agree with everything Abe said? First of all, like there was no live
losing.
Absolutely. In the words of Bill Clinton, fuck Ohio State. So yeah, I agree, 100%. All right. Bill did not have intimate relations with that woman, but Ohio State did lose to Indiana. And I loved it, every second of it. And let me tell you something. I thought Indiana was just this high-flying, high-scoring team. They played defense that game. They were hitting boys out there. Best game of the weekend for me, mostly because Ohio State lost. But to your point, Alabama should not be in the playoffs. They took Notre Dame's spot. Notre Dame's arguing about Miami. I don't care about Miami. Alabama should not be there. It should be Notre Dame.
It should
9-3.
Notre Dame. Who did they play?
They played Oklahoma. Don't say they lost because I know they lost. They played Miami. Don't say they lost because I know they lost. But they played those teams, right? You play who's in front of you. And they have, what, a 10-game winning streak going?
Against who?
9-game winning streak? You know what? Don't make me bring up their schedule, sir.
It's
too late.
Let me clean it up. While you pull up their schedule, let me go ahead and clean it up. This narrative that they got snubbed is high quality garbage. You can't get snubbed while you comfortably sit outside of playing in the conference like these other dogs did. Feel how you feel about Bama, Ohio State, Miami, whatever the case may be. They had to go see some people. They had to go make wins when they had to do it. They played in a conference that was respectable, and they not just hand picking every single game. They hand pick a lot, but they not just hand picking every single game. Notre Dame, I'm sorry, bro. Like, you can't just keep getting away with this. You don't have to worry about no conference championships. You don't have to. A&M went in there and almost lost it all. Notre Dame doesn't have to face that type of pressure.
They beat Purdue, Big Ten team, Arkansas, SEC, Boise State, Mountain, whatever, NC State, ACC, USC, while they were ranked, mind you. Where is USC now?
Exactly.
No, Big Ten.
But they're
Big
ranked.
Ten.
Big Ten. All right. See, Boston College, ACC, Navy. Yeah, no one cares about Navy, but they.
I was with you till you start naming off these schools.
They beat Pitt, ACC. They beat Syracuse, ACC, and they beat Stanford. Like,
I was really with you till you start naming some of these schools.
Announcing their conference doesn't mean
these schools
nothing.
are ranked, though. They're ranked.
So, to your point, they lost to Miami by 3. They lost to A&M by 1. So, if we're talking about other teams that are in the top 10, then yeah, you're talking about they played some tough competition and they only lost by a few points. You're talking about 4 points collectively over the two teams. That in itself should be part of the argument going into it because they won 10 straight afterwards. 9-3 Alabama did not deserve to be in the top 10.
Thank you.
Now, I'm not saying Notre Dame should have been the team to replace them, but I am saying that Alabama had their own ticket rope. They did their own job. They're 9-3. They're not supposed to be in the top 10. Especially, I mean, you didn't even put them 12. You left them where they were at 9 while not even going to the conference championship. That needs to be talked about. There's no way you just say, hey, just stay put. Don't worry about it. We're going to let these other teams duke it out, and then we're going to keep you there. That doesn't make any sense.
Because even to that point, when Notre Dame won against a ranked team, they were both 20 and below. A number 20 USC, a number 22 Pitt, right? So it's not as if that 10-game winning streak we're talking. You can name the conference. There's a lot of people that join gangs and don't mean shit. Like what are we talking about? You can go pick off somebody one by one. Every time Bruce Lee entered the dojo, them first 3 waves were nobodies. He's here for the sensei. Go play somebody that's actually worth getting in the ring with. Now, I might be of the opinion, and this is far from biased. I might be of the opinion that they kept Alabama in there to justify keeping UT out, University of Texas out, because they both have 3 losses. And
so they said we're gonna pick one of them. Yeah,
you know the household name, right? There's a chance, just based off of their legacy, you know who might end up making these games worth it or possibly pulling off maybe 2 to 3. Alabama. Based on what we've seen from the University of Texas, I don't think anybody believed that they were the ones that, like, you go in there, because if let's say if you put them where Alabama is, they're going to play Oklahoma again. Do you think they beat them twice based on the way Oklahoma finished the season? Okay. Say hypothetically they did. Then you run into Indiana. You could feel that Alabama could potentially upset Indiana just off the bias. Yeah. UT? No. So even if the UT got in, let's say if they put them at 12. Well, you couldn't, because James Madison is there. What the fuck are we talking? James Madison is playing Oregon. None of y'all ever watched a James Madison game. James Madison sounds like a website that you got lost on trying to find somebody to date.
It sounds like an online college.
Not only that,
like or something. Yeah.
This is a high class DeVry. This is an Ivy League of DeVries. You know what I'm saying? But if you put them in at 12 or 11, at 12 they would play number 5 Oregon. If you put them in at 11, they would play number 6 Ole Miss. If you beat Oregon, you could beat Texas Tech. That was the best case scenario if you come in at number 12. If you get past Oregon, you play Texas Tech, and then you make it to whoever Indiana ends up beating. If you go to number 11, though, you got to beat Ole Miss and then see Georgia. I might keep Alabama in the playoffs too. I might. And to your point, Scope, comment in the chat is like, yeah, they're gonna figure out a way to get Alabama. They got 3 losses.
Yeah. I've been preaching that all year. Of course, they're going to find a way to get Alabama in. We've seen the writing on the wall. It just sucks whenever the writing is there, because now you get to read it. But when you talk to the point of the 9-3, I actually agree with you on that. Once you find a 9-3 team, you've got 2 of them, and they're both from the SEC. You have to pick the best option for you. And then the best option for you is Alabama faithful is going to be there. They're gonna buy the tickets. This is going to do better for TV, all the TV rights and everything else. Let me just keep Alabama in there. Not to mention that Archie has been the talk for TV and everything else, but the season has not come to fruition of what they wanted it to be. So they found a way to get Alabama in. They're always, where's the camera? They are always going to find a way to put Alabama in the college football playoffs. Always. It is what it is. I'm mad about it every year. I rant. I look like this every single year, and it happens.
Well, I'll add one more layer. This year might not be so crazy, to add to the Texas point. If you don't put Notre Dame in there, which I fully support, obviously, the next one was BYU.
Yes, I think they were the ones that got screwed. Not Notre Dame.
Open Notre Dame.
Not Notre Dame, no.
I don't think Notre Dame got screwed, man. BYU had to play in the conference championship. If they win that conference championship, both them and Texas Tech are in.
What's up with this conference thing? No one cares about a conference. You just play who they put in front of you. Notre Dame played who they put in front of them. And they play the same teams every year. It's not like they're not playing quality teams. And Notre Dame, you talk about Alabama has a fan base. Notre Dame has a fan base, a rabid fan base. I mean, they're not Michigan, but they have a rabid fan base who follows them everywhere they go.
We're
this
trying
a
our
recruiting
best to just
pitch
think
for
of this as the committee does. We're thinking like the committee does. That the committee looks at it as strength of schedule and then the conference and then who they played. So we're just thinking like them in order to see who we would pass through.
Didn't we just admit we don't know what the committee's doing? So why are we thinking like the committee? Because they don't know what they're doing.
I can't even put it on a committee. There was no rhyme or reason to the rulings on how people fell into the playoffs.
Yeah,
like we tried reading it even last week. I understand who won the Power Five. I get that. That makes sense.
Mhm.
You get a slot. Solid. Everything after that was a crapshoot, right? Absolute crapshoot. BYU is only 11-2. They lost in their conference championship game to Texas Tech. If they beat Texas Tech, both of them are in. Both of them are in because Texas Tech was ranked number 4 at the time. Both of them are in. So
and that's why I think they should have been in.
But that's also where I double down on the Notre Dame snub. And this should be a win for y'all. Marcus Freeman can come to Michigan. Black man for black man.
Actually, I like
black man for black man, bro.
I do like it. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, listen, I ain't thought about that at all. But if that's what needs to happen in this situation,
man.
Come on, bro.
Come on, man. Both of them used to wearing bubble coats. It's the same coat. He could, old boy could just leave it in the locker room. He's solid. Just walk by, pick it up. Upgrade.
If that's the move, then hey, I'm all for it.
If I'm Marcus Freeman and I get to leave an Under Armour school and go to a Nike endorsed school, I too am also taking that contract.
Oh, yeah.
I'm walking over there with the quickness, bro. They get that little. You see, Steph left. I left too. Fuck you mean, bro? Give me. You know what I'm saying? Let me. Okay. Okay. Now, all that being said, what 2 teams do y'all see in the CFB championship?
I mean, if we're talking about the playoff bracket and how it breaks down,
this sounds painful. That's why I got silence from 2 of the brothers. This sounds painful because they know what it is.
So
they know.
I'm gonna just say this. I feel like Indiana has the best route to get there, so I can see Indiana being one of the 2 teams. The other team I see is Georgia.
Okay. Why?
The route that you have to go. So Indiana has to play whoever wins out of Oklahoma and Alabama. I think they smoke whoever they play in that situation.
Okay.
Okay. Then you have to, Texas Tech plays Oregon over James Matt. We're not even talking about Texas Tech plays Oregon. And then, sorry, no disrespect to James Madison people, but come on, let's be real. Just be happy you're there. They're going to play, and I think it's Texas Tech or Oregon. I'm not sure who wins that, but I think Indiana has the best chance of beating either one of those teams. Just my opinion.
Okay.
When I look down at the bracket below, you've got A&M playing Miami. I have A&M in that game. I'm sure you don't, A&M hater. But I have them playing Ohio State. Ohio State, I see beating A&M. I see Georgia beating Ole Miss because we're definitely not playing Tulane. And I feel like it'll come down to a Georgia-Ohio State game, and Georgia's taking that, in my opinion.
Okay. Can I go second, Jamell? Is that cool with you?
Please, by all means.
Okay. Say less. I agree with you on the top half of the bracket. I think Oregon is going to smoke boots the next 2 games between James Madison, and I think they're going to get so comfortable they might run up the score on Texas Tech just because. Ooh. Just because. I don't think Texas Tech has the offensive power to maintain keeping up with an Oregon, and with Oregon showing for one of the first times in the last couple of years their defense isn't light. They've experienced the Big Ten last year. They said, okay, cool. We got a little bit of an adaptation going on. It's like, hey, we're not USC, we're not UCLA, like them peasants over there. Like we actually want to play. You know what I mean? So they're here and they're showing that. Oregon was everything Penn State was supposed to be. So I think they go in there, and that Big Ten matchup is exciting between Oregon and Indiana to me. On the other side of the bracket, I know you think otherwise. I have A&M not only beating Miami, I have A&M upsetting Ohio State.
Ooh.
I
Okay.
do. I think
Okay.
if after getting punched in the mouth, if and when I mean after they got punched in the mouth by Texas, if they beat Miami, their confidence is back and they got momentum. And it's one of those situations where I wouldn't want a bye game. I wouldn't want to be coming off of a bye to go into that type. When some in any playoff format, maybe that's just the type of player that my mind is like, I don't want to be coming off of the couch while you're getting hot in any situation. I understand that you may not want to play that game. You get a rest week, and it's like, yeah, that sounds good in theory. But if I had a high level scrimmage to gel even further, and all y'all were doing was running first team versus second team, hot hand, hot hand. So I don't think I don't think Carson Beck is all the way there. So I can't put faith in Miami just because of who's at their QB, man. You still dealing with your women issues. You keep blaming the team when y'all lose.
Come on, man. Come on, man. We at the end of the season.
No. Hold on. I'm not just saying nothing. Carson Beck throughout this entire season has done some slanderous stuff that's clearly bled over to the field. That's the only reason why I bring that up. That's the only reason why I bring that up, bro. You blame the whole team when y'all lost. I don't know if they believe in you, but that's me. Now with Georgia, Ole Miss likes to just piss people off.
Party crashers.
I still have Georgia beating them. I do think Georgia is the best team in the college football playoffs right now. And so I have Georgia beating A&M, and I might have them winning the entire thing personally. I have Georgia winning the entire thing. Jamell?
I think Alabama is a little scary for Indiana. I do think Indiana's going to come out of there. I do think Alabama is a little scary. I think you brought them up. Oregon, I'm not too worried about. Texas Tech, I don't know when they shifted from throw the ball downfield, let's play offense all day, no defense, to let's play hardcore defense, very little offense. But I think they have enough to slow down Oregon, maybe even beat Oregon. But I do think ultimately it's going to be Indiana playing against Georgia, even though I am not a Texas A&M hater. I'm more of a Ray hater, but I do think Miami will beat Texas A&M. All right, I think Miami's going to get them. I think Georgia's the toughest team. Georgia and Ohio State will be a really good game, but ultimately, I think it's going to be Georgia and Indiana, and I think Indiana takes it.
Okay. Not bad. All right, well, let's get to some basketball, man. Outside of Desmond Bain trying to injure people, injury rate kind of crazy in the league right now, man. Injury rate is kind of crazy in the league. I know that's an interesting point to start off with, but I'm gonna lean into Giannis. I'm not saying you're not injured. I am saying I do know you're looking for a trade. I am saying that I too would sit down if I was stuck playing with Kyle Kuzma. I am saying you got your family photo with the other two brothers signed to the Bucks, so you did it for the fam. Cool. You trying to go elsewhere. I don't know how else to spell it. Like it is coincidental. There's a lot of people injured, man. And I think I sent y'all the stat, but when they were talking about how much money is potentially being lost, like somewhere around $525 million in potential payroll loss due to the total amount of absences. And that's right now. That's not including if there's more injuries down the line. But how many calf strains have we seen, even just towards the end of last season, going into the top of this season? Derek Lively's out with another foot injury, and that seems normal for someone his size. It's just very unfortunate. What was I don't know if y'all seen it, but it definitely hit my timeline. Anthony Davis swiped, and I think he hit some oxygen, and his fingers started hurting, right? Like you feel me? And we don't know what's going on with Ja. Zion still Zion. You missing a lot going on here. is the load management conversation crazy at this point?
So there was a study done, and it showed that there were less players hurt before load management than there are now. And they say it's because you played every day, your body got used to that. As opposed to load management, you play, you don't play, you play, you don't play. Your muscles tend to tighten up when you're not playing, when you're taking that time off. So it's not loose all the time like it was in the 80s and in the 90s, even though we have better technology, better medicine, better physical trainers, better diets. Everything is better now, but more players are being hurt now. So there's an argument against load management. I really think, first of all, Giannis needs to go. He's got to go. This morning on ESPN, they were talking about different trade packages and where he could go. New York was one of them, but you would have to trade Giannis and Kuzma for Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges to make the money line up. And they talked about him going they talked about Anthony Davis being traded to the East because I forget that he's always been in the West his entire career. So we're talking about him going to the East. But his injuries, like he's always hurt. And he's such a good player. They say he's a top 20 player. I was like, well, he's top 10. But then they say he's top 20 because he's always hurt. He has the skill to be a top 10. He's just always injured. I really think load management works against the players more so than it helps them.
Does that well, first question, did you run the study? Because that sounds like,
Negative. I will
making sure.
bring it up for you. You know what?
Second piece, the AAU basketball does play a difference in said study because during that time frame, AAU wasn't what it is now. The summer leagues, the way that they're going through, which it may not be captured because now it's just you've been running consistently. At one point, if anything, you're dwindling down. You went from playing maybe 3 to, if your team is good, 7 games in the weekend.
Sleeping on the side of the court.
You feel me? On a regular basis, going into summer league for the school as well as AAU, you're playing in high school basketball, and then as soon as that season done, repeat process to the league. And you have to ramp it up because even then your body has experienced so much wear and tear before you're even close to your prime. We're seeing, like, again, we've never seen this many calf strains. We've never seen this many calf strains. And Rose, I see you in the chat, man. You might as well go ahead and jump in there. But we've never seen this many calf strains before. We're seeing hamstrings on hamstring. It was one thing when it was James Harden, but he was fat, so we didn't really think too much about that. He was selling injuries. But at this point, I do get the 80s is like you did this and you got to go home, you got to rest, and then this was just your main focus. You do training. Now they arguably play less games. It's just more clustered in the league than they did, but when they were younger. But their bodies have broken down.
I think it's a combination of both. It's the AAU factor for a guarantee because you start out earlier, you just tiring out, burning out your body more. But I also think that there's also a part. Damn it, it just slipped my mind. But it's a part of that factor of the AAU, and then, damn it, oh my God, I just lost it, man. I just lost the point I just had.
Were you about to say an old joke to Jamell? It's okay. You can get it off your chest.
And no.
Is it Jordan slander?
You're thinking about load management or what?
Yes, it's about the load management. Oh, there it is. I just got it. I'm so sorry about that. So it's both factors. It's the AAU game and it's a different style of play. Damn it. That was a geriatric joke. Jesus Christ. Because now that was a dementia joke. I'm sorry.
Dementia. My body and my brain.
But that's what it is. It's the stud. It's the more of the shock movements now. Like it's a faster game. That's the point that I was trying to say, and I just blanked on it. It's a faster game, even with this wear and tear. The game is getting faster as these players are peaking. Like that's the thing that we're not even. A lot of people aren't realizing too. Like how everybody having that bag conversation as of recently. Yeah, everybody doing all this extra bag work is affecting the calf movements and the calf strains and the hamstrings, because you're just doing all these start and stops, these sudden movements. It's just like, man, older players weren't doing that much. They were, again, it looked basic in what they were doing in their dribbles and crossovers or whatever. It looked basic, but I mean, it just was less. 32.
That makes sense. That's why you're saying that. I got it. Continue. I'm sorry, sir.
I'm just saying, like, how these players are, because, you know what I'm saying, we're seeing more calf strains with the game being faster, and you're saying, and the shoes these players are wearing too. Like, it's all a factor. It's just yeah.
I sent the ESPN article to our group so that we can take a look yourself whenever you have a chance.
You really
ESPN, not mailman article, the ESPN article.
You weren't gonna let that go. The pace of the game and playing a full court game has also changed it. When you're sprinting, doing a essentially running gun style of offense, where during that time frame you did get to go down and you set up half court. Like, there was a genuine half court offense that more than likely was maximizing the entire 25 seconds 24 seconds for the full shot clock and going on. Do we believe, with what we know to be a consistent money line on the table, that all these injuries are genuine? Do we
see now? That's
in comparison.
Okay.
Hold on, really quick. Really quick. In comparison to Jamell's study, even for the players, then we're seeing the interview with Mike talking about, he put it in his contract. If I see a basketball game on the side of the road, he getting out there and he hooping, and he's still getting his guaranteed money. There's certain players where they talk about how, like, they wanted to go hoop, where now I don't know if the drive is there. You can make it a generational thing. You can make it the amount of games to travel is kind of crazy, but do you feel as if they have the same drive from the basketball even we grew up watching? I'm going to take Mike and Kobe off the table. They are anomalies. Shaq would have fit in today's game with the personality that he had.
Yeah.
Didn't want to try hard. He just happened to be uber talented. But Shaq was also that anomaly of where everybody hated it because you didn't try hard. Now there's probably 5 or 6 Embiids on a regular basis.
So to your point, though, right? We're looking at the landscape of the NBA. We're taking a look. We're saying, okay, do you guys want to hoop outside of the NBA? The answer to that question is yes. We still have the Olympics. We still have things that are happening outside of the NBA where people are engaging into. I do think it's become about the money to a certain extent, because obviously these guys have to protect their bodies so that way they can go get that contract, because they keep raising that number higher and higher. And there's nothing you can tell me as a person who's making 20 million that if I don't work out, 20 times during this month, but I do 10, I save my body, so at the start of the season, they'll be happy to hand me $40 million a year. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to do the bare minimum to make sure my body's healthy, and then I'm going to go play. Now, whether that's detrimental for the long run and all that, that's yet to be proven throughout everything, because there are different variables that go into this conversation. But what I will say is a lot of it is about the money. I don't want to say we're talking Vegas money, because that's a different conversation. That's Terry Rozier, who's not making that much money, who's getting a little cut off the side.
Pled not guilty.
Him and Chauncey pled not guilty. I understand. I'm just saying, if we're talking optics and everything else, if you're saying that the players that are involved in this are the people who aren't making that much money, like a Porter, like that's something that, I can kind of see that playing out. But someone $50 million, I don't see that happening.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Jamell.
No, just because you like to call out us older, wiser, more established gentlemen. I would like you to know the highest points per game average of all time was the Denver Nuggets in 1982. So a lot of free-flowing basketball. They weren't just, hey, let's set up the half court back in the day. It wasn't like that with every team. All right. So 1982. This year, the Denver Nuggets, 125 points a game, they're fourth all time, currently, 25-26 seasons. So there were some fast-paced teams in the 80s and 90s. It wasn't all Detroit Pistons, New York Knicks. Let's beat people up. Let's keep the score in the 80s. It wasn't always like that.
No, the average score isn't too much higher now than it was then. It's been slowly increasing, but the average points per game, if I remember correctly, through the 90s was about 112. Give or take. So it's not crazy to say that it's that much different. But with Giannis sitting down, any predictions on where would you want him to go? And where do you think he ends up?
Where I want to see him go? Yeah.
Where you want to see him go? Realistically, obviously you want him in LA, but y'all have to take the assets with him.
No, I'm not taking Thanasis. He can sit his behind at home. We're not doing that. I'm not taking the package deal. Okay. We already had our drama for the year. I'm cool. I don't want him. I think OKC has the best package. And when you're looking at the franchise being selfish on their side, but also looking out for Giannis, that's the best option. It's just hey, you want a guaranteed championship? Here you go. Now, I don't think Giannis is that type of player. I think Giannis wants to go somewhere where he has to fight a little harder, because to say, hey, let me trade you to a team that's 20-1 is kind of tough to then, be like, oh, Giannis worked so hard to win this championship. And honestly, I don't think Giannis cares about too much else, because he's already got a chip, but he wants another one. We know he wants to win another one, but the perception of how he's seeing, I don't know if he cares that much anymore, because he's tired of losing that much. So the best option is OKC. The best package for them to send is OKC. For where he could end up, I heard something about Atlanta. That sounds terrible. I'm sorry, Ev, but all that's purgatory. I don't understand why anybody would want to go play for the Hawks right now.
Oh yeah.
So it's a rough one all the way around. But the two spots that look viable are going to be in New York and OKC.
Yeah, those are the most viable spots now. I'm not gonna lie. I had heard of a rumor about San Antonio, and I personally would have loved for that, because I would love to see him and Wemby together. I would love to see that combination. And there's a thing where, because I was gonna say this point that I had thought about before we switch right into here about the injury thing. Wemby's never going to get the supermax, like the super max from San Antonio, I think, because he'll never play enough games to get the awards that they had with the ruling in place. He'll never play the 67 games just because of what his body will go through, because we've already seen him miss games extensively already this season. Of course, he had 2 last year with the blood clots getting shut down. So it's one of those things where I don't think that he'll ever have a supermax. So you can go and get Giannis and re-sign him for whatever you need to keep him satisfied and happy, because it also is Giannis. It is a superstar level player. So I think that combination of them two, especially if somehow a package existed where somehow De'Aaron Fox was kept, oh my God, you'd have an amazing big three of them, even though I don't think that type of money would ever match. But if you could make it work, hey, somehow. But I think realistically, I agree with Abe. It's going to be New York or OKC, and I would prefer New York.
If you can keep De'Aaron, I'm calling the cops tomorrow. Something going on over there, and we need to figure it out. What they owe, what tapes do they have of the owner doing whatever with whoever? I'm calling the cops.
I don't want Giannis to go to OKC. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it comes to point per game differential, this year's Oklahoma City team has the greatest differential of all time, 16.7 points per game. That's how much they're beating people by. Currently, with this NBA Cup, they're beating the Phoenix Suns right now 94-58. All right, they're pooping on people. without a full team. They only have one loss this whole season. I don't
Shea doesn't
want
have to play in the fourth quarter.
and they're the second youngest team to ever win an NBA championship. Most of them haven't even touched their prime yet. I don't want him there because I don't want the next 6-7 years of just Oklahoma City winning championships. Please let him go to New York. And if we got to punish him, send him to Atlanta. Teach him a lesson.
Wow.
Teach him a lesson is crazy. What Giannis do to
Yeah,
need to
Jerk.
be taught a lesson?
I would like to see him go to Chicago. That's what I would like to see. Chicago has a history of winning in the 90s. So I would like to bring that back.
Just 25 years ago. Yeah.
Hey, how old were you 25 years ago?
8.
Jamell holds on to the Chicago championships the same way the Cowboys hold on to their NFL Super Bowls.
Yes, I do.
It's around the same. It is the same time. It's not even around. It is the same time frame, bro.
So I'm just saying, I don't want him in Oklahoma City. I do want some parity. What Oklahoma City has done has been great because it's a lot of homegrown talent, But if you can't get him in New York, at least you send him to San Antonio. Oklahoma City has some competition. Wemby and Giannis, I think they would give OKC some competition. But a team in the East won't win a championship for the next decade if you do.
I will piggyback off of some of y'all's points. I will start off with I hate the idea of him going to New York. I don't think he'll be happy personally. I know it's the market. Going to New York just for any sport you going to New York, it's a market. You get to thrive in it. I don't think that's his personality, to be honest with you. Like Giannis doesn't strike me as somebody that's going to go to New York and do anything other than try to focus on basketball. He doesn't seem like the fashion merchandise guy, right? You might get him in a couple food commercials, but unfortunately the accent that he has isn't necessarily selling for the New York that we know New York to be. You're not the urban culture. You're none of that. So other than strictly basketball and then him pairing up with Jalen Brunson, while it could work, I don't know if I see success. But anytime you can get rid of Karl Anthony Towns and I have you on my team, for sure, take him, please, man. He's playing his own style of defense. He's not cohesive with any part that they have going on. He's not to blame for the reason that they got eliminated, but he still has a hard time of trying to figure out when to let go of the ball, man. Like, you're not the point guard. You're not the person that's supposed to be taking it from the 3-point line down into the paint, whatever. But it does make sense, at least, line for line, matching the money. It does make sense. I get it. OKC Jalen Williams hasn't even played this season. And they're doing what they're doing. Their second best player has not played this season, and they're doing what they're doing. I don't know who they give up for Giannis, but if they reached into their pocket and just randomly grabbed whatever's in there, it's probably coming with 6 draft picks easily. Like, just pick one. Just pick one, bro. Like, take whatever you want. Like, yeah, you want one of these young guys who, like, they could. I almost argue they could trade Chet and still be fine. Still be fine.
Honest, yeah.
If I could easily put Dort in the package because I get an upgrade on defense and an upgrade on offense because based on the way that Jalen Williams play and Shai, they can guard your guards. So you're still solid. Now, I do get what Jamell's saying. They mess around and run away with the league, bro. I don't know. You would hope. That sounds crazy. You don't want this. You would start hoping for injuries. Like, you would wish injuries upon another person just so you could be successful. It might be worse than that era of time unless you are specifically fans of this team. But that 7-year period where it was only Cleveland and Golden State, and you just hope you hope somebody in the West might switch it up. But for that period of time, like, unless you were a fan of that team, it's just you want competition. Now, I would love and also have the ability to say it's possible for him to go to San Antonio. De'Aaron Fox, I don't think Milwaukee cares about. They want a Stephen Castle.
Yes.
They want Stephen Castle, and then San Antonio also has a large amount of picks as well. If we can just, box up Jeremy Sohan and Devin Vassell with some picks, I'd be happy there. I would. I might be on the side of being okay with, I hate to say it because I love him there too. if I had to let go of De'Aaron Fox, but I could keep Stephen Castle, I would do that for the long term.
Oh yeah.
I would do that for the long term. Having Stephen Castle, Dylan Harper, who's showing that he can manage his own. Then you have Giannis down there.
And that's why you're okay with that.
That's why I'm okay with it. Because we got enough guards. Like one of the guards has to go. You got Sohan, you still got Keldon Johnson, you still got I'm sorry, not Sohan. You got Vassell, Castle, Fox, and Dylan Harper. You got enough guards. And Keldon Johnson. You got enough guards. Like somebody has to go. Giannis going to San Antonio, kind of crazy. And just it's the home of the foreigners.
Mm-hmm.
It's the home of the foreigners, man. Like Pop is still the president. It's the home of the foreigners. So you kind of, but to Jamell's point as well, anywhere in the West, the East is cooked. There's just nothing happening over there, man. There's nothing happening.
Let me
Is
share
it
this.
crazy to go ahead?
Oklahoma City, 2026 draft. They have their own pick. They have the Clippers' unprotected pick, which with how their record's going, is probably going to be a high lottery pick. And they have a potential to swap with Dallas or Philly. Like Oklahoma City.
Everybody who laughed at Sam Presti when he was collecting all them picks and he was taking your dumped contract and he was saying, hey, you need to free up $30 million? I'll take Chris Paul, but I'm going to need a first with that. Oh, you need to clear up $20 million? You clear up some cap? Yeah, here you go. I got you. No worries. Everybody who laughed at him while he was doing that, he was building a dynasty. And that's exactly what's happening here, to the point where it looks crazy for the next 10 years, where you've already won a championship off of what you got off the backs of Paul George and everybody else. And now you can sit here and go, you know what? That top 5 player in the league, I can throw 6 picks, like David said, at this guy, give you a couple pieces because I need to free up some cap space, and then I'll just keep drafting. Every pick that they've drafted the last couple of years, Wiggins, Carsons, all these other guys, they look like valid picks. They look like a starter for somebody else's team, and they come off the bench for OKC just because they have to. And then not for nothing, Shane playing the fourth quarter, and he's still leading the league in points and all that. Come on, dog. Like, this is scary. This is scary time. So you got to break this up somehow. I was going to pose a question. I don't know if they have any assets. This is just off the dome. I'm thinking out loud. Does Minnesota have any chance of getting Giannis?
If I'm honest, no, of course.
Okay,
not.
I'm thinking about an Anthony Edward Giannis pairing.
I think so. It would probably. Let me see.
I don't know if it makes sense.
And it would be.
I don't know if it makes sense.
It had to be Rudy and Randall. But if you're Milwaukee, who do you fucking want? Rudy Gobert?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to let.
You already got Miles Turner.
Yeah. You don't want to let Giannis go. Period. But like, this is where we are. We're at the crossroads.
Wait. Jaden McDaniels and Julius Randle?
Hell no. Because
McDaniels, hold on.
Like, because man, Ev, y'all both heard me say this, whether it be on the earlier sports pods or just in the group chat. I am not a fan of Julius. I have no issue trading him. I think when he got traded from Minnesota, I thought it was just a moot point because you traded empty stats to me. They go get you a bucket, but in order for them to get a bucket, the team isn't flowing. The style of basketball that they play, dribble the ball out, your post size, trying to take it from the 3-point line, having to go into your pivots. I don't like their style of play. I would give away Julius Randle. Jaden McDaniels could follow up with that. I do not like Giannis and Rudy next to each other.
You can't have each other.
He'd have to go. Yeah.
Other than defense, I don't like them next to each other. Like, maybe you can throw in McDaniels, Naz Reid. Would you put Dillingham on the table because they just traded to go get him?
Yep.
I see the Timberwolves doing better.
So the only reason why I posed the question, yeah, but that's the only reason why I posed the question is because I'm just thinking out loud. I'm thinking about who Giannis might be able to pair with. Like, he went to go get Dame because he thought Dame would be or the organization thought that him and Dame would be a great pairing as far as like the shooting that he needed for the outside, and then Giannis could be the interior. But then, like, if you go get somebody like Ant, Ant plays both sides of the ball, and he is an amazing athlete. That happened out of that.
With Rudy?
Again, not with
as
Rudy.
we
I'm talking
speak,
about Giannis and Ant. I'm not talking about Rudy.
but nobody's taking Rudy.
You're taking Rudy. If he comes in a trade like this, you'll take Rudy.
Rudy's
Man,
highlight right now is trying to convince people to go bald. Right now.
You talking about Jaylen Brown?
He's
The
Rudy's
follicle
highlight
hate
right
is
now
crazy.
is trying to convince people to go bald. I'm cool on that. Man. Do y'all care about the NBA Cup?
No, I don't think anyone has taken that serious yet. No one cares.
Okay, man. All right, so we can move past that. I got 2 topics to round it off really quickly. Jamell, you the baseball guy currently present until Rose comes back. Can you speak on the consistent snubbing of Barry Bonds?
So Barry Bonds took the super soldier serum before it was popular, before the MCU, right? And they're punishing him for being superhuman, right? Barry Bonds was putting up stats before his head was 5 times bigger than mine. People forget in Pittsburgh, he was putting up numbers in Pittsburgh and steals. In San Fran, he got too big to run the bases like that. But it's the steroid stench that is on him. I think if it was an error, and I know what they're like, oh, well, the people before him weren't doing steroids, and we haven't really caught a whole bunch after him, but that was a whole era. Everybody was taking steroids back then. Everybody. He's an all-time home run leader. How do you not let him in the Hall of Fame? Same with Roger Clemens. 7 Cy Youngs? How do you not let him in the Hall of Fame? Are they going to wait? They're going to pull a Pete Rose and wait till they're dead and be like, okay, we can vote for him now. All right, cool. Go ahead and let them in.
Yep.
They're dead posthumously.
Bingo.
What are we doing to these guys, man? They've already been punished. They weren't first ballot. Jeff Kent, mind you, the most home runs out of any second baseman. I didn't know that till he got voted for, but Jeff Kent has the most home runs out of any second baseman. He's in the Hall of Fame. Before Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, yeah. And I think they're letting Alex Rodriguez know, hey, now you know what to expect. All right, you're gonna get the same treatment. I think it's a travesty. He needs to be in.
I don't know a lot, but I know enough that there's other alleged steroid users that are in the Hall of Fame right now. David Ortiz being one of them. Mike Piazza, Jose Canseco, when he was up there pointing fingers on the stand, he listed Ivan Rodriguez. Now at the same time, I don't know if David Ortiz is more loved. You have the name Big Papi, you're upsetting the Yankees. The allure came with him. They are keeping out Mark and Sammy while keeping out Barry. So it's not like it's a crazy. Manny Ramirez isn't in the Hall of Fame either. But Barry Bonds is arguably the greatest baseball player we've seen until at least 2010. Until we started talking about oh boy, that played for the Twins. I just blanked. And then we're talking about Shohei's. Until we started talking about them, it was Barry Bonds. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Until Shohei, then, if you want to go that route.
Shohei is the most complete player I've seen. I've never seen someone who can pitch as well as he does and hit as well as he does. But if you said, hey, start you a team, which one are you going to take? I'm going to take Barry. I'll find me a different pitcher. I'm going to start with Barry. Barry, okay. I think he also has the most walks in MLB history. People were afraid to pitch to him. There's been games where he was walked all 4 times he went up to the plate. They just walked him. We're talking about a power hitter who could bat in the high 330s. Like, dude, it's a travesty. This dude's not in the Hall of Fame. And
fair enough.
In 2031, that'll be his last chance. So if he doesn't get in then, he's off the ballot. It'll take the president of the MLB to say, yeah, let's put him back on and let's let him in posthumously. 2031. That's him and Roger Clemens.
I don't. Is that a rule for all sports where you only have a maximum amount of opportunities, or is that only baseball?
Brother.
I think that might just be MLB. I've never heard of the NFL because I think NFL has put in a few people posthumously.
But baseball has a rule like you can. There's an amount of years, and if you don't get in by this amount of tries, that's it. Like there's no dead, alive, don't matter. It's just that's it. That's just it. So I don't know if that exists in other sports, but Barry Bonds continuously getting snubbed, man. Even them trying to hide it is like, oh yeah, Aaron Judge is about to take the title. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not close. But I did want to wrap this up. We had somebody reach out and ask us specifically to speak on this topic. Ev, you and I have touched on it a little bit on the other side, but speaking to the sports piece of it, I'm sure y'all are aware the Odell Becham Jr. situation. He was on the podcast with, I believe, Ryan Clark and them. Really quick, if we're keeping it clean, Ryan, y'all kind of slyly smiling in his face. Don't think we didn't see y'all on the inside laughing at him, but
it was written all over
I
the
get
face.
what you did.
Yeah.
I see what you do for views. I respect game. I'm not mad at it. But at the same time, Odell was talking about how, make a long story less long, you had $100 million 4-year contract, and they're asking, what would we think with that type of money, with what Odell was saying, our opinion on maintaining it, and key points on what responsibilities you would take care of, first and foremost. And then secondly, where athletes mess up and how they go broke. I want to address the first question first. Like, what should be done to maintain that type of money? I understand none of us are in that position. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But you can still have some form of conversation, and then the key points on what responsibilities you would take care of.
So can we just talk real quick, fellas? Bodega had the best take on this on the other podcast, because it's very true to the fact that he wanted to flex. Like, I follow him today. Like he likes to show off what he's got, what he's doing. I'm sure it's a lavish lifestyle being in the NFL, trying to keep up. So I definitely understand that, like, there's a certain pressure with being the swaggy guy in the NFL, the guy that they look to have the new Chrome Hearts jeans and all this other stuff. I get that. But if you start to see your bank account dwell and you're still trying to keep up with that same lifestyle, my brother, this ain't got nothing to do with I wasn't taught financial literacy. It's not enough coming in to suffice for what's going out. That's just simple math. Like Bodega said, math ain't mathing. Like, if we're looking at the situation, the responsibilities that I would take as a person in that position is, yes, I'm buying my mom a crib. I'm making sure mom is set up, mom and dad are taken care of. That's for sure something I'm going to do. Am I going to buy a nice car? 1,000% I'm going to buy a nice car. I'm probably going to lease it because I know I'm going to get something nice here in the next couple of years or so, but I'm going to get a nice car. And then the rest of that comes with it, I don't need to buy a $100,000 watch every season. I don't need to have a Richard Mille on my wrist just because I'm playing football. Like, he wore that in a game. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
He had on different Richard Milles in the game. Richard Milles are $300,000 plus watches, fam. Like, this isn't just going out to go get a nice Rollie for 20. We're talking about a down payment, a car, a house on his wrist just so he could play football. Like, there are decisions that can be made, and you have access to different things now, right? You have that money. You have financial advisors. There are plenty of financial advisors that when you call them and say, hey, I'm at the dealership and I'm about to pick up a Rolls Royce, they tell their athletes, no, don't do it. Do they have the right to tell them no? No, it's their money. They can say, hey, man, I'm swiping the card, shut up, and hang up the phone. But the ones that are listening go, you know what? He told me I can't get it this year. I got to wait for the next contract, so I'm going to come see you in a year. It's not as if you don't have the access to it. We were not taught financial literacy coming from a place where we didn't have money. I get that. But to say that that's where you are and we're supposed to feel sorry for you in this aspect, you saw Ryan's face. Ryan was just sitting there like
he was trying to hold
because
back the laugh.
he knew he couldn't be disrespectful to Odell and just be like, bro, this is on you. He couldn't give that game to him, and they were just trying to be sympathetic and hear him out. But at the same time, we got to call what a spade a spade. If you go get $100 million contract, I understand it's really 50, 40 after taxes, all this other stuff. I totally get that. That is still $50 million. That's generational wealth for someone. And you go and squander it, just go to like get the new Chrome Hearts or to say that you've got the new Wraith. I'm sorry, my brother. I don't feel sorry for you. And I'm not going to do your GoFundMe because you need to go, get the next mansion or whatnot. Like that's not what we're doing out here.
I loved everything you said, Abe.
Yeah. I did hear him say he had a specific Flaunt budget.
Yeah.
So to even start off with the conversation, having flaunting as a part of your budget is a choice. It's a choice, right? We understand that a lot of times financial literacy isn't always taught in general. Doesn't even have to be specifically to athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Having a flaunting budget and saying that you designate money to go flaunt seemed to have already answered the questions that he was asking, in my opinion. Because if you're putting aside, I think what was it? Did he say like 40% or something crazy? But it was a decent chunk of where you're going out of your way to go spend money just to spend money. Now we also have to remember who Odell was. Mm-hmm. You were the pretty boy receiver at the time. You were a face. There's always one. There's always one that has the extra attention. There's always the diva role, from whether it be the Terrells to the Odells to the Justin Jamars, but there's always those receivers. You had a Nike endorsement, right? Shoes on sale, by the way. Ever since this came out, yeah, them Odell Beckham Air Maxes, the price didn't drop. But you had a Nike endorsement. You had the prime time of being in New York. Back to what we were saying earlier for the basketball segment. You were in New York, whether the Giants were good or bad. You had all the motion. You have still arguably probably the best catch we've ever seen in the league. Mm-hmm. And you were riding
They show it every week.
Yeah.
They show it every week. Whenever they have a nice nab, they show it. Yeah.
And we were giving you credit because you did have to play with a dwindling Eli Manning. Cool.
And he was still performing. Because, like, I think, like, I just seen, I think, like, this last game, like, with Puka, they were saying it, like, I think Odell was still, like, the third or second fastest of, like, when it came to yards, receptions, touchdowns for your first 3 years in the league. Like, people forget, like, even with all the flaunting, people forget he was, like, on track to be a legendary receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But continue. I mean it.
Oh, no, you good. I would say at least to not completely copy what Abe is saying, and then I guess the obvious in the room for all of us, especially at that time, and as we saw how his career played out, NFL money is not rapper money or NBA money. Your guarantees don't look the same. If you go for the rap side, right, they might be more similar because while you try to stick around and remember who he's running with, the Trey Songs, the Drakes, and all of them, their 360 deals doesn't come with a guarantee. We see where Drake's at now. He's still over there. You ran out of money to keep flaunting with him. You and Trey are both on the couch together right now. You don't have the guaranteed money of the NBAs, and it's also different to maintain that status because unlike the NBA, everybody in the NFL wears a helmet. So for you to be a face is already a different trajectory that you're being put in. But we also know the wide receiver diva route. You don't maintain relevance unless the line blocks, they believe in the run, and the quarterback still has to throw you the ball. Not that he couldn't catch. But once your attitude starts to pick up, just like all the receivers that were similar to him in the past, the team gets tired of it. Or, when you look like us, they're looking for someone to blame. It wasn't his fault that New York was bad. It's not. Was he a spectacle on the sideline? Yes, but a spectacle doesn't necessarily have a negative connotation. So then, similar to your predecessors, Randy Moss and a couple other ones, they sent you to purgatory. Whatever the purgatory team was of that era, like when Randy went to the Raiders, they sent you to Cleveland, and Cleveland was purgatory. Everybody seems to love Baker Mayfield, but you two had a beef going on. That's even more crazy. Y'all were both trying to figure it out, and it just kept happening. Now, the injuries don't help, right? He had three ACLs, if I remember correctly. I know he had at least 2. But I think it was 3.
But I know he's had other leg injuries too, though.
You know, so you got hurt Super Bowl, man, which is great for you to make it there. But in that moment, once that happened, the flaunting money is there. My questions usually would be on how to maintain is like at what point did you, if you did ever stop to ask, hey man, is my house secured? And whatever immediate family you're trying to cover, are they good? I don't know whether the man has kids or not. I'm not really sure. But to have a flaunt money, and it's what's the other part, it's easier to maintain a lifestyle when you don't have to force the lifestyle. You leaning into the bachelor playboy party aesthetic only goes so far. In that role, as we've all seen in any other aspect of life, just being men, it doesn't have to be an athlete. Once the money dries up, or once you are no longer at the top of whatever your respective field is, it's gone. It's gone. It's all gone. So I would think that the responsibilities would be simple. I would say that the part to maintain it, at least from my perspective, responsibility and the maintenance piece, he didn't strike me as someone that was willing to listen, let alone if he ever heard you in the first place. And I'm sure somebody tried to tell him something, because there's too many. How many 30 for 30 docs do we need to see on people going broke? How many other athlete stories have popped out on what it's like to go broke? And I also get it. Your pride, you're a man. Your pride probably says, "Oh no, not me." and then it happens to you. You know. But yeah, that's my piece. I think listening would be the easiest part. And bro, you're still a receiver. I would want his message to go out to all receivers at minimum. All receivers at minimum. I hope this doesn't happen with the Justins, the Jamars, and whatever the case may be. But I see the size of your pendants right now. Justin Jefferson in the Lowe's commercial, iced out for some appliances. You know what I'm saying? I hope it don't happen to you, but that's my piece for the first question. Jamell, Ev, what y'all got?
I agree with everything you said, and it's also what I really want to say is, as someone who's speaking who ain't never seen that type of money, of course, start to have those thoughts before you get the money and while you have the money. Don't think about that when it's already too late in the game, because that's the thing. You start to have those conversations potentially when it's too late in the game, when it's I'm potentially never playing in the NFL again. Like that, like that's where Odell is at now. I'm potentially never playing, and I'm 33 and I'm done. And I was the one signing a 5-year $90 million contract, and now I'm done. Like, think about that right when you putting down your flaunting budget. Think about, nigga, what's my injury budget? What's my, you know what? What if a team just says, what if they just alienate me out the league? What if they just say, you know what? He's had one too many incidents. And I'm not talking about Odell Beckham. I'm just talking about anybody, like any player.
Right.
Think about it in those moments, because again, what's the story?
It's bigger than you.
Exactly. Think about it. All of us are the same age, -1. I love you, Jamell. It's so easy. It's just so easy. But what's one, like me? I have not played sports, but I was around a lot of guys who have played sports. And what's the one thing all of y'all have heard? You've heard for facts in the NFL. Oh, the league expectancy is 4 years. The NBA,
Yes.
the league expectancy is less than 5 years. It's less than 3 years. We've all heard those things. So of course, when you're one of the blessed and lucky ones to go and get $100 million contract, you should be thinking about keeping that contract as long as possible, because guess what? You know for a fact you probably never gonna get that contract again. You fought like hell to get that rookie contract. You know it's only potentially only gonna go down from here. So you have to start thinking about that earlier. Cam Newton, the same one. He said this too, the same exact verbiage almost. Oh, well, yeah, now that I'm out the league, I'm not making the same amount of money anymore, and I still got all these children to provide for. Yeah, nigga, of course you do. So guess what? Secure your shit so you can make sure it lasts forever, because you're the one with the generational wealth.
Facts.
How many people are looking to you whenever you are the
know?
head of the household now because you carrying that load? Like, come on. Yeah,
That's a fact.
I agree.
Jamel?
So in 2023, I played DraftKings, and I tied for first place in 2023. I got a nice chunk of money, a hefty chunk, and the first thing I did,
he's not lying. He took me to dinner.
Yeah. First thing I did was I called up my
took me out
daughter
for my birthday.
Yeah,
No diddy.
I called. No doubt. I called up my daughter and I said, "Hey, what are your bills? You know, tell me all, you and your husband, let me know all your bills." And I paid all her bills. Gave her a nice little chunk of money. My son, I didn't give him as much because he doesn't have a family, but I gave him a nice little chunk. I took care of my parents. I gave them a nice little chunk. And then I went out and got myself some nice stuff. And then everything else I put in savings. That's Jamell at 46. Jamell at 23, 24, 25, 26. That money would have been gone in a week.
And now we keeping it clean. There we go. I'm so
but like Abe said, we weren't taught financial literacy in high school. I'm from Gary, Indiana. We damn sure weren't taught that. If you don't know where Gary is, it is the slums. We weren't taught that. And the only thing that saved me now is my age. I'm a little bit older, a little bit more mature, and I don't have a lot of responsibility. All my kids are grown, but they're still my kids. I think about them. Now I think about these athletes because you've never had it before, millions of dollars. And you have friends that who weren't your friends before you had the money, but now that you do, they are your friends. And you want to maintain that group. And athletes today, even though athletes back in the day went broke also, but athletes today are also worried about being influencers. So they have that also. So like I'm not sure which one you mentioned. I apologize, but you're talking about Drake. No, NFL players are some of the brokest athletes around. All right. You're not getting paid like MLB players or NBA players. Damn sure not like rappers. So you want to maintain that influencer status, hanging out with these other athletes, hanging out with these other entertainers. You cannot maintain that the way they do. You can't. You need some sort of financial, and I think the NFL does that now. They have financial management classes, but if you don't take in the information, it goes to waste. You don't even need these classes. You can just look at Deuce McAllister, Kenny Anderson, Lawrence Taylor, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Latrell Sprewell, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Unitas, Allen Iverson, Antoine Walker. You can look at these athletes and say, yo, all of them went broke. All of them had millions of dollars. Let me not be like them. You can use them as an example, but they don't, because they want to be an influencer. They want to be popular. They want to have friends. They want to have the Instagram model on their shoulder, because that's going to cost money too. I'm not saying that they're out there, but I am saying if you want them with you, you're going to pay someone in their family, be it a mother, a father, because a lot of athletes, you'll see those who are successful and they maintain their money. It's a parent who's like, hey, I'm gonna hold your money for you. And these youngsters, especially if their parents aren't jipping them, these youngsters trust their parents. If I were younger, I would have given my money to my mother because I trust my mother. And she'd have said, all right, son, this is what you need to live with. This is some party money for you. Set it aside, not 40%, but maybe 5 or 10%. Here's some party money. This will last you the whole year. And I'm still working, so I'm accumulating more wealth. These athletes, I don't think they have that, man. And the parents, if they're broke also, so now they have money that they've never had before.
Right.
So they're probably spending it just as quick as their kids are. It's just, God, I actually legitimately feel bad for some of these athletes. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do, because I understand.
And that leads to the second question. I think that's an easy segment. And honestly, on this platform, we do what we do best, which is keep it clean. The second question was, where do the athletes fuck up and how do they go broke? I could tell you. We can say all the wisdom stuff that we're saying now. We can also have an honest conversation, just like you hinted at, Jamell. You threw that type of money at me. I'm not gonna lie. I can't argue. I'm not too far off in whatever situation he is. Because if you telling me, even especially the last point, if we came from a situation where we didn't have much, right? Because for every Jaden Daniels that has his mom everywhere that he goes, there's 10 that are on the same status, not feeling the same type of influence, not having the same type of words in your ear. So not only am I good at my sport, I'm a pretty boy as well. I get to walk around and be in all these situations. Yeah, I probably lost count of the money that might have been, especially being in New York. He done tricked off. He done tricked off a lot. When the picture of him being shirtless with Trey Songz and the rest of the receivers came out, in that moment, I think we all collectively said, up, it's about to go nowhere but downhill from here. Right? You still had the money then, but not a bikini in sight. So you had tricked off a certain amount to be in Miami and no bikinis. Yeah, man. If we were in that same position, I can be honest with myself, bro.
Be honest with yourself, just based off of what you had when you didn't have Odell Beckham money. We tricked off on stuff that we ain't had no business tricking off of, and we ain't had no money. So imagine somebody hands you a couple million and go, hey, have fun with this. Yeah, 23-year-old Abe, I would have blown that check.
Especially at that age. Now, with the NFL, it's slightly different, but similar. It would have looked like my college experience. I went from being an all-A student, and then I got to college. I got out the house. I'm free now. Eyes wide. Different city, different environment, potential everywhere. Head on a swivel. I can't remember my first semester. I remember what my grades looked like that first semester, though, right? Yeah. So I spent every part. Like, I think for me, at least, it would have happened like that. And then after it got out of my system, if I was still fortunate to be in a situation, I would have recovered. But we also know that there's a lot of people that aren't prepared to get punched in the mouth like that. And sometimes that punch in the mouth comes later on down the line, like your first injury or retirement, one of the two.
You said
we don't have many situations where you get an Iverson that lucked out. Like, you went broke, but Reebok looked out for Iverson. These brands aren't looking out for you.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
you said it earlier, though. You said it can't be me. Like that to that point, you're like, it can't be me. I saw Antoine Walker go broke, but that ain't me. I'm better than Antoine. I'm not going out like that. Like that's that mentality. I'm sure that a lot of the young guys with that type of money get, because you're on that social status. You're that guy of the team. You're the person they brought in. They're the ones that traded up for you. I get all of that. The NFL is the most hazardous, like one of the most hazardous jobs to have in entertainment. So that means, yes, you can sign a rookie contract that looks really great. You could play another one down and never play another down again in your life. You did all that work to get to that point, and then you can go to the NFL and you can never play another down. Fact. And that is the difference between like some of these other sports. Like, don't get me wrong, you can have a terrible ACL tear in basketball and be not yourself again, but there's a slim chance, a pretty good chance you can come back and play again. You may not be the player you were before. There's Achilles pops that are happening every other week, and players are coming back within 7 to 8 months. The NFL, the way we just saw, and no disrespect, the way we saw Ertz get folded up this past week, that he's not coming back from that one.
It's done.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that is a hazardous job. So for you to think that you just have forever to play football is kind of naive in a way.
Not only that, to add to your point really quick, unlike unlike basketball, which is why there's a separation, you could not be in the main league of the NBA and still make six figures playing overseas in a Euro league or in a G league. You could still make somewhere around 3. It's not millions, but what
You
after
can make
you get
millions in
hurt in
certain
the
leagues.
NFL,
Yeah, you can.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
after you get hurt in the NFL, you go
Nowhere.
to commentating,
Yeah.
coaching.
If
Hopefully.
you have the personality. If you have the personality.
And that's the other part with him too, on especially it's before we get to him specifically, before we get to the receiver diva role, you look like us. You have to play a particular game to transition into commentating to begin with. How many Ryan Clarks really exist that didn't go the full journalism route, but you transition from the game into speaking, especially for the way that Ryan Clark was hitting people. The amount of hits that these football players are taking, I'm not even fully sure if you could put sentences together in your day-to-day conversation before I decide whether or not I like you, right? And then you have to transition over. So for the way that he might have burned bridges is also difficult. The other part, to Abe's point, man, you could get hit today. And again, keeping it clean with myself, before I took that ACL tear, I probably done called all 3 of y'all. Yo, bro, you want rims on the Lincoln? What size shoe you what size shoe you wear, bro?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Facts.
yeah, fly, bro. We about to party in LA, bro. PJ.
I'm on the way. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, man? Oh goodness. But yeah, to the maintaining pieces, it's a little bit of a mix because it is money that we haven't seen. I hope at some point we do all see it, but it is money we haven't seen, so it sounds good. I know that adrenaline, but there was a period of time, man. Somebody tapped your shoulder, my guy. Somebody tapped your shoulder. Right now, last but not least, let's wrap up the pod. Jamell, you and I can sit back, let these two brothers hash it out. Ev, why are you really here?
I'm just here to kick it, man. I don't have anything to say.
Rams and Lions play this week. We know what's happening. You know why you're here. Abe done called you out. He done sent some shots. You done sent some shots on the other pod. You
listen,
say we
I
got to
didn't
see
send
each other.
shots. I sent a response because I was being called out by somebody else on another podcast. So, and the other thing that I stated before was don't come the week after. Come the week before, which Ev has done, so I'll give him his credit, and that's due to that, because I'm like, don't come here next week just to gloat in my face if you ain't gonna come have a conversation.
Oh no,
so
I'm here to talk.
We're here to talk about it, but yeah, that was in response to somebody telling me he was coming over. Now, to the topic that we're talking about very quickly was that the Los Angeles Rams, David asked me, hey, what do you think about that whole trade? And I said, you're welcome. Matthew Stafford was the piece that you needed so that you can get over the hump. So you're welcome. I don't understand what the problem is.
That I'm perfectly with. That I'm cool with because thank you.
I'm a
that I'm gonna say thank
fan.
you.
Yes, I am a Lions fan. I'm sitting here with a hoodie on right now for them. I can tell you right now, there's so many players that we've had that we've sent to the graveyard just because we didn't want them to go anywhere else. The fact that we let Justin Verlander go play for the Houston Astros, whether they cheated or whatever, he won a chip. And then we were able to send Matthew Stafford over to the Los Angeles Rams, and then y'all won a chip. I was cheering for y'all. I was happy for y'all.
You know what? I'm good. I'm
good.
See, David. I'm gonna call you David today. I'm gonna call you David today. David, this entire time, made it sound like you were one of the other Detroit Lions fans. Who there are another group of fans who now completely, ever since the trade, they just completely hate Matthew Stafford because of the newfound popularity that he's gotten because he's in LA.
They mad seeing that girl with somebody else and they happy and thriving. That's what that is. That's my baby mama that I'm cool with over there. Like I'm happy to see
we good then. We good then. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's Mr. Instigator up there. Don't worry about it.
Because I'm gonna say he tried to make it ugly out of you here.
Allegedly.
He tried to put us at odds here.
I know brother Abe, while he might have supported Matthew Stafford, I know him enough that there was at least 5% saltiness. At least. At least
Yeah.
he's not like it was just a clean.
Yeah,
like,
I wanted that to be us. Of course, I was salty, but I was 95% happy for him to go over there and get. At least we could do something right. We haven't been able to do right by players for a long time. So the fact that we were able to send him somewhere where he automatically won a championship, that was doing right by Matthew Stafford, regardless of how we felt. So that's how I was in that situation. I was like, you know what? It's good because we had to see someone like Calvin Johnson leave the league and just like have to fight for his life for the 10 years he was in the league. And like we didn't get to send him nowhere else where he could have been successful and won a Super Bowl. We paid him a lot of money to suffer in Detroit. It is what it is. So the fact that we were able to send him over there to get a chip, I was like, you know what? I'm cool with that.
And I
who
appreciate
wins?
that.
Yeah, y'all talking nice. I hear that, but y'all still got a game to play. Who wins? Playoff implications on the line. Rams got a division. Lions got a division. Jamell trying to stay quiet because the Bears have been quietly outdoing
Bears look real.
expectations.
Bears look real.
Like I thought they was phony all season, but I
Okay, so
give them what it
Rams.
is. Man,
Rams in the
Just
tough
don't let it
division,
have to
Sam
be.
Darnold.
Don't let it have to be a Caleb Williams conversation. Like, don't let it have to be a ball on the line for Caleb Williams to have to throw. Let it be a defense that has to make the decision to win that game. Because if it's going to be on Caleb Williams, you in trouble.
I have 2 words. Fuck Detroit. All right. Ed, you ain't got to do it. I'll say it. All right. All right. You ain't got to. I will hate on Detroit. We hooked up Matt Stafford. Yeah. You hooked up the white boy. You didn't hook up Barry Sanders. You didn't hook up Calvin Johnson.
I wasn't even right. I wasn't even
point.
right for that. Come on
you
now.
should keep King Caleb's name out your fucking mouth. All right? Keep my quarterback's name out your fucking mouth. Ooh, Abe, if you wasn't so big, if you was Chris Rock size, I'd slap the shit out of you. Ooh, be thankful you big every day. Tell you right now, go Bears.
Whatever, man. Yeah, clown, man.
But no, Ray, to your point, to your question, of course, I'm gonna say I think we win, but I think it's gonna actually be a close game because this is the thing: we have not beaten Detroit since the trade. Like we have not beaten them with Matthew Stafford yet. So for me, I'm hoping we finally get over the hump where I think this will be the 3rd game that we've played. So hopefully it's like, hey, finally, 3rd time's a charm. And it's just because it's playoff implications. Because hey, we number 1 seed right now, but it's a week by week thing because we got Seattle literally right there.
Top heavy.
Like
top heavy.
Yeah, it's very top heavy. So we got to take every game because like that Carolina trap game really tore us apart. Like we needed that loss, but it kind of screwed us because like it made it a little bit more difficult because we were expecting Seattle to fall off and it's just not happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if we can't stop Jahmyr Gibbs, because this is the thing, like Ray's heard me say it a lot. I say it all the time. I love Jared Goff. I love Jared Goff to death. But I know his limits. And that's why I think it's for me, it's where if we can contain Jahmyr Gibbs, then it's a piece of cake. As long as we don't let Jared Goff get comfortable throwing it to St. Brown, we're okay. Because that's the biggest problem. Now, we get if a deep ball goes to J-Mo, which that's the scary part that I am worried about. If y'all O-line does continue to give Jared Goff enough time, y'all can destroy our cornerbacks. And that's one thing I know for a fact because everybody been rooting for Emmanuel Forbes, but ever since they was rooting for his ass, he even got destroyed the last 2 weeks. That shit was just it was just fake. All right, it was fake. But now I think it's going to get exposed. So I think it's be probably like a 3 or 10-point game.
So here's what I'll say. We need this game.
Absolutely.
You guys don't need this game. So that's where I'm looking at you as my fellow brother now. Just give this one. Just give this one. Just give this one, right? You know what I'm saying? We are in the fight for our lives just to make sure
that division is crazy.
It's top heavy. We need this. You guys can lose this game and still be just fine coasting into the playoffs. So brother to brother, help one out. That's all I'm saying, because we need this more than anything right now. So if J-Mo can get going, if Gibbs can get going, if St. Brown is there, he's doing his thing, I think we have a good shot at this game, especially proving the track record. Jared Goff does like to get comfortable in these type of games. So if we can have that success for this game, we do need this game.
I wouldn't just say that they don't need it either. Y'all both need it, but Detroit is on the bubble.
Yeah,
That's
right?
that's the difference.
Rams-
That's the difference.
The Rams are 10-3, and so are the Seahawks, and San Francisco's 9-4.
y'all see, this is the thing. Detroit, y'all are the 49ers in our division. Like right now, like when you look at now, not team wise, I'm talking about record wise. When you say about of fighting, like, and that's why I say, like, yeah, we first, but we could easily just drop down to second if we lose. Okay, but with y'all are in third. What you got? I done told everybody the Packers, their life was saved getting that fucking tie. They saved their lives getting that tie, and that's a part of it, is where you have to bank on them getting an extra loss, which it doesn't look like it's fucking happening. So that's the part where, yeah, y'all got, like, y'all whooping the Cowboys ass. That's what scared me. Like, that's what now got me a little nervous. Like, oh wait, I was thinking we was gonna walk into this a piece of cake, but I'm a little nervous now.
I just want to end it right here. If you've been in the other group chats that I've been in with Ev, and I think in totality with the four of us here, we combined in at least 5 different group chats. He's saying y'all to San Francisco, and he said it so smooth, but I saw how he taled about San Francisco in one of these chats, and Rudy's there to vouch. So if I'm lying, I'm flying. But he flat out said,
hold on.
You see how you trying to start stuff? You see that?
Man.
He just
I hate the 49ers. I hate the 49ers. I will never hate Detroit because they traded us Stafford. I would never hate Detroit.
Goodness. Man, but that was a great episode, y'all. For y'all that tuned in on the live, we definitely appreciate you. So you found the place to find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We are the Keep It Clean Show on Twitter, or formerly known as Twitter, now Elon's little puppet X. You can find us at just Keep It Clean Show. No the, right? Follow us, like, comment, and subscribe. We have episodes dropping every Tuesday for the main pod, and then on the sports pod is whenever we decide we're going to drop it. So hope for 2 a week. You'll be there. We appreciate y'all, and let us know. Just like the gentleman, shout out to Mike, gave us a question today. If y'all got feedback and y'all have something y'all want us to discuss, we're here for you. Participate in the chat. Shout out to all y'all. Much love, and we out.
Every time you see me, I keep it clean like a coaster.